I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul.
I can rock with that.
These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows it all. Just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and I don't think you know, but I know that you do. And the dollar ain't shit, and it's tax to no end.
Okay.
Those are rich men, those are rich men.
This is true. Tell them, buddy.
Some of us can't say what we absolutely know is true, and he's articulating.
I wish politicians look out for minors, not just minors on islands somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, cause all this damn country does is keep taking them down. Lord, it's a damn what the world's gotten to. People like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and then I don't think you know, but I know that you do, cause your dollar ain't shit, it's taxed to no end, cause the rich men north of Richmond.
All right, guys, welcome to No Way Jose.
Ended it before the last part.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I was over it.
Yeah, he was over it. He had goosebumps. He was about to start crying.
I know it's
He
complete.
still has them.
It's complete bullshit. But I had still had goosebumps, man.
It feels weird on this end though, with like all the tech stuff, and I'm trying to like. So I was over it. I was like, I'm right at the end. I'm just gonna kill it. But yeah, guys, this is No Way Jose. 4 Ponyboys were at the TopLobsta.
Jose
ranch.
just likes to kill shit early.
Yeah,
I've noticed that about him.
It was
poor wife.
It was becoming a whole to do.
those poor kids.
She's like, I'm about to come. He's like, I'm over it.
It's just a to do.
It's just a to-do.
All right, guys, we gotta dial down the Tower Gang a little bit.
Oh,
right?
fuck you.
You guys tried to do Big Brain yesterday, and you just completely
Technically,
failed.
this is Tower Gang because you couldn't figure out your password.
Yeah,
so
true. Yeah, I was having issues with StreamYard. We figured out. So it is streaming to my channel, streaming to Rumble as well. So YouTube
He was like,
and
guys,
Rumble.
stop. We're going to do like a way lesser, like good show instead.
But no, for real, it is streaming to Rumble, the No Way Jose Rumble channel, the YouTube. So I know I haven't been posting to YouTube as much. I probably really shouldn't even have posted this one still, but I figured whatever. I'll let you guys remind you I still exist. Maybe come over to Rumble. I'm over there still, or go to the audio. I do want to take a moment just for my sponsors, let people know how this works. This is going out live, as you can tell, but typically I pre-record my stuff. Usually we'll live stream them, though. It'll be available for my patrons about a week early. If you want that, patreon.com/NoWayJose2020. Lowest level is $2 to get that early stuff. If you want to be a sponsor, you can do that too. I read you guys off every episode. And my sponsors are Toad, to my left, actually, co-host of Tower Gang, which I guess we're kind of sort of doing right now, but not really. But yeah, so you can follow him on Twitter at Tower Gang Toad. I also have at Abrogate Deeds. He's cool on Twitter. And then also Kevin B. Clark. He's a full-time guitarist, private music teacher in the New York area. Go to him up if you need that. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I also have my merch guy over here, TopLobsta, toplobsta.com. Use Jose at checkout for 10% off.
Right
Yeah,
there.
we all got merch. I don't know. I mean, shit, do we all have merch on? Hell yeah, dude.
Except for Toad.
God
What a
damn
piece
it,
of
Toad.
shit.
Those are actually TopLobsta socks. So
Are they?
It would be they're fucking
Oh,
Under Armour
no.
socks. I didn't even,
That's
He's
actually
still
better
wearing the
fit.
same motherfucking socks. It's incredible.
No. These are different.
Something just happened.
he just only has only green socks.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on?
I'm
the
Toad,
screen?
man. I love green.
But yeah, no. Oh yeah, someone said that. I've had multiple people tag me. Says Young Gravy guy made a new song called No Way Jose. I listened to it. It fucking slaps. But everyone's like, oh, new intro. Copyright. I mean, I know we just played a
Yeah,
song
you
and
need
we
to
got it.
strike him. It's your name.
Yeah,
you should
that's
get
true.
him. Yeah.
Copyright. No, that's right.
Sue his ass.
Yeah, I am No Way Jose. What are you doing? I've already claimed this YouTube space. You can't be using my name.
You could just trade him for that song for your show. Say, hey, like you stole my name, I steal your song, and we're equal.
Yeah, that's
That's
fair.
right,
I think
exactly.
I think that's a winning bet for me.
Yeah, nobody has to really pay anybody anything. It's IP's fake and gay anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah, why not?
Pure barter system. I like it.
But just so you guys know, where this is live, we are going to try to pay attention to the live chat. I'm not monetized, so there's no super chat you can send me or anything. Yeah, so definitely, I don't know. I'll try to look. We have a screen here so I can see. We've got a big old TV in front of our face. Pretty cool setup we have here. But yeah, Top, didn't you have some thoughts about this?
Oh no, I didn't put Rumble.
We get some cross-talk at the table. What's going on?
I was trying to bring up the Rumble stream so I could see the comments from Rumble.
Oh, I have
That's-
it on my phone, but I'm
Okay.
just trying to if you guys want to pay attention to it, and
I
just
do. I
kinda
care.
let
I
me
care
know.
about what they're having to say over there.
Pay us
Yeah.
on Rumble and talk to us on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go. No, yeah, for real. Yeah, well, actually, I don't know. Well, it's streaming for you guys to Rumble as well. So if you guys want to pay, or it might be, I don't know if you set up the destination.
You guys want to pay Toad on Rumble?
Yeah, you guys want to pay.
Pay
I'm not
me,
monetizing
yeah.
Rumble, but yeah. So yeah, hey, Top, you had some thoughts about this motherfucker,
Yeah.
the Richmond from Richmond. You guys seem to think this is some sort of weird grift. I think me and Clint, maybe I can speak for him, think that's a little bit
I'm just gonna
overly
quote.
schizo.
I'm gonna quote Owen Benjamin.
Yeah.
Conservatives are so pathetic that their new idol literally just said it's aggravating that conservatives are supporting him, and the song isn't about Joe Biden, it's about you, and he hates you. He
Yeah, but I read a.
he
I
literally
read-
supported
no,
Joe
no,
Biden.
No. I know where
I
those
think
quotes
that's
came from,
wrong.
and I read a longer post, and
Yeah.
that's completely taking what he said.
I'm
out of
going with the
context.
clickbait.
I agree with I agree with Jose on this.
It's pretty clear to me that he just hates DC
Yeah.
broadly. It's
Yeah,
not. It's
I-
not.
yeah.
and
He says
he's-
on the Biden thing, he says it's not about Biden, it's about bigger than Biden.
Right.
Like, he's a part of the problem. And what the whole conservative line is, he's saying that it's like there are conservatives that are controlled by these corporate oligarchs.
I
It's
actually
like-
have
it's
I have a
It's true.
song. I have a song
Right,
from
well-
him. His
well-
new song. I'm gonna play it for you
Well,
guys.
hang on. In that quote, though, he was actually referring to the Republican establishment. I'm pretty sure that I thought that was pretty
he's
clear.
like the
Listen,
establishment.
His
yeah.
new song.
That's what
it
DC
says
is.
different.
Yeah,
Richmond
exactly.
and north of Richmond, all right?
Let me see. Can we play this here? Hold on. Go
it
ahead.
would actually be less consistent if he was like, I hate DC, but love them Republicans.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is all,
like-
and this is all about Biden.
Now
Yeah.
I did
What the
hear.
fuck?
I remember Andy actually made this argument that it wasn't even about like DC itself. He's referencing all
Like
the
you,
gangs.
I'm
Like,
just-
He's wrong. I'll tell you.
he's so upset about it.
I'll
but
tell you why
but-
Andy's wrong about that. That's the same argument that the progressive homos make, because they're saying, oh, this is all about like neo-Confederacy and all this stuff. I'm not anti-Confederacy at all. I'm pro-secession, pro-decentralization.
Listen,
whatever. I think
it's right
that's
from
good.
his own lips. This is what he's saying.
Okay.
They're taxing us to death, and we ain't got no money, and we drink to death. People like me and people like you have just got to accept. We just got to accept this. That we
can people
are
hear this?
gonna die
Yeah.
drunk and poor because this is life now. We're getting taxed to death.
Owen, my God, man,
Is that? Oh, that's him.
that's Owen Benjamin.
This is
dude.
definitely Owen
They're
Benjamin.
molesting our kids, and there ain't shit we can do. Just feed them our kids and drink Mountain Dew. People like me and people like you. The queers are gonna come and they
It's definitely Owen.
It's so great. God damn it.
This is a psyop.
Owen is such a legend, dude.
Yeah. Dude, he's fucking
They're molesting my
hilarious.
kids, and there's nothing we can do.
Like, I get his point in that, like, if you are trying to extrapolate from this like a doomer point, you're wrong. If anything, like, I see this and I'm like,
It's super black pilling.
well,
in a way.
it is in a way, but it's like I think people feel that, and that doesn't mean we have to reside in this, wallow in this area. It's just identifying a problem and
Yeah,
saying,
I could not disagree more with that song being black pilling. It's like it's one of the most hopeful anthems. The fact that it has such a populist message and populist response, like people of all political walks of life, except for like the non-thinking ones, are all feeling the same thing. So it's great.
Yeah. But it is. But so you're saying the outcome of the song is white pilling, but the song itself is a doomer song.
Yeah, it is in a sense.
I don't think so.
I don't think
this is how I feel. This is upsetting.
It's like everything
sucks.
Is there a single word he said that isn't true?
No,
that's what's doomer about it.
No, but I'll tell you why.
He's stating a reality that he is feeling.
Right.
From there, you can say we can stay here, or now we're identifying the problem. And,
Owen extrapolated into, and there's nothing I can do. He never fucking says that. He never says, our inevitable demise is right around the bend. It's like,
no, I'll tell you why it's white pilling though, because he's saying like, you people out there, like, I feel you. I feel what you're feeling. There are more people like us out there. I think that's white.
Yeah.
pilling
The best part is that he actually got the enemy right.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I mean, there's been,
and they never do.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They never do.
If you look at it, you can probably find 1,000 of songs like these, especially country songs, where it's like basically, this fucking sucks. Like, my wife left me, all this stuff. But
gotta vote for Trump. Fix it all up.
Saying this sucks and it's these guys' fault is in no way saying, guess what? I guess that just sucks and we're staying here. No, I'm literally identifying the problem, telling you the solution, or at least I guess kind of alluding to a
solution.
You're alluding to a solution. We're telling you whose fault it is.
He's
This is the problem,
He's
though.
identifying
Okay, so whose fault
who
is
the
it?
enemy is. Yeah.
Okay, so January 6th, right? There's no solution. He's not presenting a solution.
Right.
My problem with this guy, again, really nice song, fake accent, good writing, shitty chords, like just straight up four chord nonsense with
Simple
the capo
songs can
5.
be good though.
That's all he knows how to play. So yes, go whatever. Listen, what I'm saying is that the guy hasn't thought about this much beyond watching some YouTube videos.
It's just a song.
It's just a song.
Yeah.
This is so Owen Benjamin. What he does, and he always overreacts, but it's genius. He's going to his base and he's saying, "Yo, bring it back a little bit. It's a song, okay?" But now he also has to smash this guy down because he's like, we're in the millions of people where they're talking about him on the Republican debate stage like this guy is some fucking Messiah. No, he's just some guy in the woods singing a song. He doesn't know shit.
I'm sorry. I have to push back here. There's anthems from
Push back in my own house. How dare you?
there's anthems in Scotland that like people march to war to. Thank you.
Shit.
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude. Like
Yeah.
there is energy and spirit within music. It's bizarre to me that you and Owen are downplaying the power of music.
It's not the music and the energy in it. It's the lionization of the character. The song, like you said, the song gave me goosebumps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So turning him
idea-
into a hero.
Exactly. This guy doesn't know shit. He's a guy that can barely
Real
play
quick,
guitar.
Someone pointed out he took a liberal stance in an interview, and I know kind of the things they're pointing. He has said some of the generic but even then these are like typical base conservative talk.
Yeah, he said that we're a melting pot, and, everyone diversity is our strength or some shit, and everyone's like, oh, this fucking
You know why? You know why?
neoliberal idiot.
He
This is
probably
a
has
guy-
this much political philosophy.
Yeah,
This is a guy who he's probably conservative in his life.
Yeah.
But once you put a microphone in his face and you've got to now answer questions to somebody who's kind of like grilling you, and you understand the whole like what's happening here, like the whole world is watching. He just falls back on the shit that he's seen on CNN and Fox
Right.
News.
He becomes pragmatic.
He's not ready for this kind of shit.
If
Don't
only we
look at
could
him for
get
that.
to him.
Right.
If we just us could get to
It
him,
would
it'd be
take
so
years. How many memes would he have to show him for him to get
I'd
what's
be
going on?
agreeing with you. I think
I
if
would
they
be
were
the one
trying
to
to
get to him, by the
push
way.
him up as some sort of intellectual heavyweight, or if they were trying to push him in like a political sphere or something, then there'd be an argument. But he's just a dude. People are like,
Oh, you
look at
mean
this
like how
dude.
they did with Kyle Rittenhouse, a borderline retarded teenager who shot some people? He's a good shot, but now he's doing a speaking tour. It's like,
Right.
this is what they do. It's fucking retarded.
All right.
Stop
Yeah.
it.
But
Here's what I
Clint,
think though.
Clint did have a point. I was going to say this because you were talking about this could be like the anthem. So this is like the fortunate son of like the meme war of tomorrow, basically.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Which-
want
and they
I don't
did-
want to overstate it, but
Dude,
like
CCR legends.
it was probably the most unifying moment this past week or so since that song dropped and became the #1 in the world. It was the most unifying moment that I've
He had like 5
experienced.
songs on the top 10 or something shit.
five
like that.
of the top 10 and the #1 song. and he's going to be platinum. I mean, it's not nothing.
Son of our time.
And everyone,
Yeah.
and
It's really kind
I
of the
do
same
hate
message.
all
Yeah.
the people schizoing. To be fair, I haven't looked into it deeply, but everyone's schizoing out about that he didn't take a contract deal. Like, oh, well, he's clearly a Fed or something.
Let me make explicit what bothers me about this pushback. Owen is well known for his lamentations about
To be clear,
Hollywood.
he could be a Fed. I don't know, but I'm saying that's a silly, assumption.
Yeah.
to
I don't
make
think
off
he's a
that, but go
Fed.
on.
I don't
I
think
mean,
so.
you could
either.
just
It's
ask
always
your
a possibility.
contacts,
So-
and they'll let you know if he's
Owen-
on your side.
Owen Benjamin knows the power of music as well as anybody. He hates Hollywood. He constantly talks about how, the basically the culture war has been a slaughter. We finally have an entrant that is the most unifying song in my life, maybe, in terms of like, it's us against these people. And Owen's like, he's a plant. He's a plant.
Yeah.
It's hopeless. These guys, like, I don't understand. Like, it
I
just
think
seems
he-
that
Look,
seems doomer to me.
Owen is the black pillar in that case.
Yeah, that's
no,
what it feels like
Owen
to
is
me.
the overcorrection, correctly the overcorrection. Like
Well,
I mentioned
yeah.
this was something else. The Civil Rights Act, they had to go like far and beyond to overcorrect. Then they kind of bring things like in the middle, and then it always regresses back. But to correct for what's happening here, they're gonna give this guy a microphone, and this guy, if he doesn't have any sense about him, he's gonna take it and he's gonna just start talking nonsense.
This
Right.
dude is the cute chick who says something semi-profound and it blows up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then then Owen is the one dude. It's like, oh, I think that's a dude. Look at her hands. Like
Yeah.
that.
yeah. Well, so
Yeah.
so I think
Now he has to kill him. Now Owen has to destroy
Okay,
him.
so-
Whereas before, like it was like, yo, if he would have just sang his song and then like he did like one interview about himself, he's like, listen, I'm not trying to make money. I'm just trying to chill. Like, I just want to do this.
yeah.
Once he starts getting into this political realm where we're all like, we've been for a long time. Now my hackles go up and now I'm gonna start judging.
But see, the point is, he wasn't
Sure.
trying to get into the political realm. Like, every time he's been interviewed, he's been like, I'm a fucking guy
Who
from
pushed him into it?
rural Virginia. Like,
And but here he is talking about the political realm because who keeps pushing? Is it the
Well-
liberals interviewing him?
no, it's probably both, but it's conservatives
It's
more.
Fox News and
Yeah,
stuff like
conservatives are going to try and make him into a leader, and he's like, but he just needs to reject it.
that. Right. Well, so he does. So I think there is definitely some truth. There is some truth in what Top and Owen are saying. Where I don't think you should lionize like one specific guy because he like does something that we think is like really good. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that
pat him on the head. Great song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's like,
praise for
all right,
that for sure.
if you want to speak in this medium, you got to read a couple of books, listen to a bunch of podcasts, go
Right.
away for 2 years, then work on your mic and talking to people before you're going to talk to the world. Clean your room before you fix the world.
Okay, Jordan.
TopLobsta up
No,
in this moment.
am I wrong?
I
No,
semi-agree.
you're right. I mean, if he's
I
gonna talk
do-
politics,
I
Click
do
does
think
not make
people
us
that have
bad,
these like
so.
rocketing, successes, especially based off something that's not necessarily what they're going to be doing now. Like,
Yeah,
say,
it's
speaking of
unfair.
voice.
It's
It is
unfair.
like, yes,
To him.
he's not. He has probably not a shred of political philosophy knowledge. And I'm not saying that to be like condescending. I'm just saying that like he's just a dude who just kind of works, likes to do music, and he had something blow up.
Yeah.
So the
Wash the chicken.
Washing the
so
chicken.
I do think it's fair for there to be people around like us that do push back when he says dumb shit or kind of milquetoast stuff. But I mean,
The poor men south of Richmond.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like
Right.
I don't know, the insane. I do think it's completely fair to be like that's an overcorrection to be like assuming he's a Fed but whatever. Like I guess there are people that those are the overcorrection that balances out the other people who
Well-
get swept up. in
Well,
it.
yeah, so,
I don't know. It's a natural
the other-
social phenomenon, I
the
guess,
other
to some
thing-
extent.
The other thing that bummed me out was that everyone's assuming that it's some sort of AstroTurf campaign. Like, there's a decent chance that
Yeah.
there was someone involved in that, but you
Hmm.
simply can't have a nobody turn into the #1 song in the
There's
world.
got to be some level of organic to it.
Of course,
it has to be organic.
the
to some
song
extent.
slaps.
Like we've all
It's just-
seen,
it
we've all
slaps.
seen artificial manipulation
course.
of some sort.
Because
you
usually
know.
it's not good content. Usually
yeah.
the content's like not good,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it somehow hits
and
like
even then
crazy.
sometimes their artificial play things work out and there's something that blows through that probably shouldn't have blown through like that, but you
Yeah.
can still tell when it's a smashing success. It's because it's hitting something and it had to be organic. Like, yeah, sure, maybe there was some AstroTurf or maybe there were people paying to manipulate views or something, but all that's doing is kind of help boost it. There has to be some
Right.
level of organic.
Well, I think
to
he
it.
just hit it just right. I think you can tell that it was like organic where it came from because it was like it was originally posted on this like West Virginia radio YouTube
Yeah.
channel, I think. And he has had a YouTube channel for like a few years at least where he like puts his music up there and that had not gotten any traction. So there was some organic like virality.
I mean, to
this
be
thing.
fair, I
Not,
did
not
see
some.
I
an
did see-
enormous
So
amount.
so
I did
think
see
that-
people pointed out that there was somewhere where people had paid for views or bought or what, however
Yeah, no,
ways
it
they
was
manipulate
a-
the algos but you know what? To some extent, we've known people who do this, and it doesn't work out like that. So it has to be organic to actually like you may be able to manipulate views, and it gives you like a better
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
let
so
me-
I think he's not an op, but here's what happens though: when you become like that famous, and you blow up to that extent, then you get these, like the
Chicken's looking good, guys.
You get like
Oh, yeah.
corporate conservatism in this
Benzo.
case. We want to try to capture this guy and like get him to say like kind of the things that we want. I think that's kind of what we're seeing here.
But
Yeah,
what's
that's
it-
true.
Wasn't
Damn. Yo.
But you know what? I will say though, the point that Owen has is where this guy isn't as prepared. He is primed to become an op. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to where he could easily have people that enter his life that sway him certain ways, which is great that he's shunned off the record deals.
How many
because that would be
times-
the kind of stuff like that.
How many times have we heard like libertarian podcasters say, "Oh man, if they would just listen to Dave Smith, or just if Dave could get to this guy, if Dave could get to that guy, oh, I wish they would just listen to Scott Horton," and they never fucking do. They
Yeah.
always go. It's like you listen to Ben Shapiro now, or you're listening to fucking Rachel Maddow. It's never the
Yeah.
people that you want to. So like right away, I'm like, yep, I know which way this is
But
going.
see, the thing is, it just shows that like you can actually garner an immense amount of attention through the culture war. And
Yes.
if this guy did turn around and start quoting Rothbard, we'd all be fucking out of our minds happy.
Yeah, like I was out of my mind happy when they dove into his like YouTube watch
that was
history. And they're
actually-
like, dude, he's watching like 9/11 conspiracy shit. He's like anti-Semitic. I'm like, fuck yeah, one of us.
Not one of me, but yeah, I just for the life of me, I can't. It really does strike me that a lot of the people pushing back against this are like, they are the really black-pilled people, like because they don't want to have any hope whatsoever. They're like, this is a pretty hopeful moment. Let me find a way that I can be furious about it.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
right to some extent to be cautious, like I pointed out. With,
Owen-
Caution
with
is
someone
different
blows,
than like destroying the kid.
Owen is wrong. Like, so one of the things other things he tweeted, he said like, he's like, if you guys are still voting, is like, you're not into the game, it doesn't count, all this stuff. And I was like, listen, I'm gonna vote still anyway. I kind of agree, but I'm gonna vote because I just want to see them cheat more. I want to make sure that you fucking cheat.
you gotta work
Don't-
for it.
Yeah, you're gonna work for it. It's gonna be blatant. It's gonna be obvious, and more
Yeah.
people hopefully will wake up. Because if you do black people into not voting, which I don't know, I don't even know how much it counts, but like you got to have something there.
Well,
You can't
that's-
just let these guys.
That brings you to this like balance though, because it's like you need things to get like worse for more people to become red pill, but that's like a line there. It's like, well, which way is it
Well,
going to
You
go?
got to make sure you're building.
there's
things get worse,
that
though.
tension there. Yeah,
Well,
you're-
before things get really bad, it's kind of important that you have a unifying message for them to get behind to correct whatever
yeah.
we're all identifying. Like the problem has been that the vast majority of Americans have not been able to identify that it is just broadly the Northmen north of Richmond, or the Richmond north of Richmond. Thanks for the tongue twister, Oliver.
The broads north of Richmond.
But instead it's like it's the Democrats, it's the Republicans, one or the other. And it's like this guy, that's why I don't really care if he's philosophically sound and some sort of like hardcore libertarian. I just want him to galvanize the movement against the people that are ruling over us, and I'm fine with that.
I agree with that. And there's one reason why I actually think that like kind of like praising people like Rittenhouse and this guy is kind of a good thing. It's because it pisses off a bunch of the worst people. So I do like that aspect.
I also
of it.
don't respect people. This is like autistic musician stuff, but so the chords in his song are E minor, C, G, D over and over again. There's
Yes.
no difference between the chords.
Yep.
The
It
chorus and the
sounds
verse.
good,
That's how I
top.
played it.
Sounds okay, but when you're using a capo, it's like learn your instrument, Oliver. Like you don't need a capo. You could have you can slide your hand. There's different hand shapes there that you can do, and it'll bring out more. You can do more in your music. It's lazy.
Well,
It's
we're
lazy to use
simple
a capo?
people, and it sounded
Yeah, it's lazy,
nice to
Toad.
us.
Learn some fucking chords, bro. You have a whole neck. There's at least like, I don't know, 15 frets
so
on a
weak.
guitar. It's weak. It's weak shit. You're using 3 frets. There's 15.
A lot of times you use
Hate it.
you
And
use the
it
cape-
says a lot about the people. Shut up, Toad.
No.
It says a lot about the people that do that. You bought an instrument and you
Yeah.
became proficient in an instrument with like fucking 4 frets on it. That's lazy, man. Get something, yo. I want an instrument with 100
four
frets.
strings. Yes.
There's infinite
Look,
possibilities.
I'm not going to play a fucking sitar, but sometimes the capo, you just like the sound of it, where the strings are just a bit higher pitched. You like that sound of it.
I get it, but I don't think he did it for that reason. I think
I do it in certain
All right,
cases
all
because it's,
right,
like,
all
easier
right.
to
This
play,
isn't Tower
you know.
Gang. This isn't.
All right.
We're not
Okay,
gonna.
you think that's Tower Gang
We're
conversation?
we're gonna treat Toad like a peer to the best of our abilities.
I am. I'm just saying that it's lazy. I think people should notice it's lazy. And the songwriting is okay, but that's really what it is. I mean, his vocals are great.
His vocals are the reason
a
why it blew
good
up.
song.
But
Vocals and lyrics.
It's
are why it
fake
blew
too.
up.
It's like the
sounds
fucking
good.
guy. It's like the guy
Whatever,
from The
we're-
Walking Dead.
We're simple people, and you only need just the right chords. And certain, it doesn't. You're going above and beyond.
You know Rick from The Walking Dead? You ever
Yeah.
seen that show?
Yeah,
Sure.
of course.
He's British.
Yeah.
And then in
Right.
The Walking Dead, he's got this convincing like
Oh,
southern
Andrew
accent.
Lincoln. Well, it's like House. That guy, Hugh Laurie, is British. He's like amazing as House, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
bullshit, dude.
Throwing off the British accent.
All right, all right.
He's
Let's
acting. I don't
let's
give a
get. All right,
shit.
you want to bring up that screen? I have something for Clint to read. Speaking of people who kind of blew up, sort of speaking our tunes. This one a little bit
Oh,
more
yeah, this guy.
explicitly. I guess mute it because I'm going to play
Oh,
it. And I'm
yeah.
going to have Clint with his sultry voice read it for us. Javier Milei.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Clint? You ready to read this for us?
La solución es el modelo de la libertad.
Final solution.
You want me to read the Spanish?
Oh yeah.
No,
The solution is to get rid of the Jews.
Oh, I think that
Modelo
the
de
big
beer.
problem in Argentina is a cultural problem. Correct. This is a society injected by socialism. Correct. And what we need to achieve is to remove socialism from people's minds. Correct. And the main promoters of these ideas are the politicians. I suggest you take a look at what Graciela Camaños, she is supposed to be one of the best leaders in Argentina. Do you know who they are against? Against the libertarians, because we libertarians are the only ones who dare to confront the politicians and tell them that they are not the solution, that they are the problem. The politicians are sort of sociopaths who want to make us believe that we are mentally invaded and invalid in every sense because we cannot live without them.
All right, I'm gonna need a little bit more. You can tell he's getting really worked up here. You're just kind of. I gave it to you because I thought you were. This seems to be like right your shtick.
Fuck,
you
sorry,
know?
sorry. All right.
Read it like Hitler.
Read it like you. Like
Okay,
you
okay,
went full cult leader in the last episode I listened to, and like, this is the kind of shit I could see you saying.
Yeah,
you know?
well, this is the shit
Yeah,
I do
let's
say.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Like the blood of the innocent.
But in reality, those who cannot live without us, in other words, if the country were divided between those who produce on one side and those that don't, the fucking politicians, the syndicalists, this whole bunch of parasites, they would sink and die. Let's separate Argentina into northern Argentina and southern Argentina. You know, those of us who are willing to work will go to the poorest part of this country. We'll leave Vaca Muerta for them, even if they end up with everything. These rats will sink because they're useless. On the other hand, those of us who produce and know how to make a living will thrive. We are decent people, hardworking people. And we don't advocate for envy, hatred, theft, or unequal treatment under the law.
Damn.
That abomination of social justice is the most unjust thing that exists because it means stealing the fruits of someone's labor and giving them to others just because I feel like it. And in that whole process, not only did they destroy the economy, they impoverished people. From 1970 to now, the size of the state tripled and the number of poor people multiplied by 6. And you know who the only ones who really prospered were? The politicians.
Politicianos.
So you know what? If you want to stay in this country, you have to identify the enemy, and the enemy is the politicians. We have to go after the politicians. They are our enemies, gangster. They are the ones dragging us into poverty. They are the ones who prospered while with this whole idea of social justice and income redistribution. The real income redistribution was from what we produce to the political parasites. The libertarianism was born to free us from the oppressive rulers. Correct. I'm a bad motherfucker. Let's say this caste we have is like the monarchs. They don't even see the need to inherit. They're the same ones who were here in 2001. None of these thieves left. They all stayed.
Jesus
And there are
Christ.
more because they
right
multiply. They bring in their relatives.
How is this
They
guy still
bring in their
alive?
mistresses, families, and it grows and grows.
Fucking cockroaches.
And the pocket of those who produce becomes smaller and smaller. I can't be that. It can't be that in a country the parasites of politics do better than the productive people. You shouldn't do better by being a political parasite who produces nothing. I want to say it in Spanish. And only causes harm when you do something. Because every time the state intervenes, it creates what's called the state failure. The state's failures, you see? Look at this. The plans against poverty made people even poorer. That's the Argentine case.
Yeah, wild, right?
Yeah, dude. Everything Homeboy puts out is fucking phenomenal.
That's just the Argentines case.
No,
it's crazy how
everywhere.
it's global, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is really like a global socialist or social Marxist plus fascistic takeover of everything.
Right.
And Javier Milei is the first anarcho-capitalist that has a legitimate shot at winning the presidency of any nation on earth. I'm fucking blown away.
He's like pulling at what, like 25%, something like
30,
that.
I think.
30. Jesus, like,
Well, I think well, he already won like his party's primary, so he's going to be in the general election, I guess. And then Argentina, like they have a bunch of parties. I guess it's not just a duopoly, so it's I don't know how.
But I mean,
yeah, I don't know what he's actually pulling.
Like,
I don't know what he's pulling at in like the general, but yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But like, yeah, dude,
he has the plurality of the vote. He is the favorite to be the next president of Argentina.
And the thing is, like, whenever you're saying stuff like that, what as another politician, what the fuck can you say? Like whenever that is in the mainstream and people are hearing that,
I'll tell you what they can say.
They look outside and they go like, "Oh yeah, he's totally right." The other politician, that guy's just crazy. Like
he's crazy, conspiracy theorist, racist.
That's what they say. But at some point, like the
people have been struggling under severe like hyperinflationary periods for like generations.
Do you think though that people should maybe just avoid talking about racial subjects like the plague so we don't get accused of being racist?
Yeah, Argentina.
I think it flies in Argentina, right? Because it's like he can touch those third rails there.
Well,
he can probably say the N word too. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah. What I think's interesting though is that he actually calls out the social justice movement. So that this is it once again demonstrates like even cultures that you wouldn't expect to be dealing with this kind of like progressive agenda. They are also dealing with it, and it's not just political in nature. It's like
and he also what's crazy is usually when you hear about corruption, it's just like how they're stealing. But he really points it out as a libertarian. He points out how it's like they're not producing anything. He was like they take it, they just don't produce. He was like literally this all comes down to a market, and he understands, which just shows me he actually knows. Like capitalism itself, he understands like Rothbard. He knows like
I love it because it ties in perfectly to what Oliver Anthony was singing about, but with the actual like specific
solution.
Answers.
Yeah, he was like the enemy
Milei
is the politicians.
final
He was like we have to get rid of the enemy. He's like the enemy is the he calls it out.
He calls
the solution.
He says we have to go after the politicians.
Yes, he said they are our enemy, and he said they're rats.
He literally basically did Mein Kampf but swapped out Jews for politicians.
He really did. He literally calls them rats and a
Do you have
plague.
to swap out Jews for
you're-
politicians?
Wait, is it a coincidence that like a bunch of the Nazis, of course, moved
Went
to
to
Argentina?
Argentina, yeah.
Well, so I think this is great. Obviously, there's a reason why this guy has become so popular.
Yeah.
It's because he's.
Hold on, did Toad steal that one? Because this guy said that at
No, I did not. I haven't been looking.
12:39.
Last
He said
a
that.
minute ago.
I did not. I haven't been looking at the screen. That's
God damn it, Toad.
no.
It's on his periphery and his subconscious hard drive.
Now you just broke my train of thought. What I was going to say is obviously there's a reason why he's so popular because he has this like really bold like messaging. He's pointing out the problem completely.
But is he part of the problem?
And that haircut.
So that's what I'm getting at.
Do you think the haircut hurts or helps, Toad?
Dude, I think
it helps, dude?
He
Looks like a member of the fucking Beatles or something. He looks like a Britpop.
He's cut from the same Boris Johnson, Donald Trump mold. It's perfect. I don't know why the fuck it works, but that shit works.
but this is why
It's like an animal-human hybrid.
But this is why. But this is why I pause. One is like if he's saying all this and he's garnering this much, how has he not been taken out yet? Especially
I wouldn't be surprised if he's a werewolf.
Especially in a country that's he looks like a werewolf.
He's a dog man.
In a country that's as corrupt as Argentina, but also I believe he has like some ties to like the WEF, and Reason has been like
oh my god, here we go. Here we
praising him.
fucking go.
He's a big supporter of Israel as well. He said he wants to get dual citizenship.
So I've
No shit.
Malay?
So I've paused. That's all I'm saying.
No shit.
All I'm
Look that
saying,
up. No.
all I'm saying is it gives me pause.
I can't believe that
Like a
that
werewolf.
we're just incapable of having any good news.
Well, I feel like the
sorry.
WF by now.
I'm not
like,
trying to blackpill you. The white pilling is that everybody.
Why in the fuck would the World Economic Forum want that message to be pushed?
Yeah. What's weird is like I feel like the WF
Tell
by
me.
now it
This is-
understands.
I don't know the answer.
We're playing
to that.
both sides, so we always
Yes,
come out on top.
I seriously think that the WF literally just chooses people, and they're like, these guys are good guys. Everybody knows us as the bad guys.
Okay,
so
here we
if
go.
If we choose them, we make them a bad guy.
Whoa.
Argentina is-
Tinfoil hat on. Tinfoil hat on.
Hold on.
What if they're starting to identify some of the energies that a lot of us have been talking about, and the idea of like things like separation. So if you can accelerate something in a liberty type direction on the flip side that allows a separate
Here's an
place for
article.
that, like it allows an opening where they can thrive as well.
Yeah, either really,
This
or
is
they're trying to break everybody
Argentina's-
down, and then they can just.
Yeah, so then all the liberty people move there. It allows the areas with less liberty people where they'll be at type thing, roughly speaking.
Argentina's extreme right presidential candidate Javier Milei says that if he wins the election, he will refuse to join BRICS. And then they quoted him, "Our geopolitical alignment is with the United States and Israel. We're not going to align with communists." I mean, what does that mean?
Dude, I hate communists.
Dude, it doesn't
as
matter
much
where
as
you go.
anybody, and it's like
doesn't matter where you go.
I don't like it.
I'm sorry, Clint.
No, I mean that's not ideal. Don't get me wrong. But
No. Clint's like, fuck, man. It's like we just tore down Oliver Anthony, and now this guy, Clint's like,
Y'all
Clint's
did,
like,
y'all did see that some people joined BRICS yesterday too. Like
Yeah.
there's like some big kind of a lot of like oil-rich countries were like, "Fuck it, we're joining BRICS now."
Yeah,
I like
which
it.
is kind of like
Cole
really-
reads my Twitter feed, so he knows.
I
Yeah,
actually
dude.
did. I think maybe it was. I see.
Yeah,
that.
of course it was me.
Dude, yeah, dude. The U.S. They're losing control over having the dollar as their world reserve currency. Yeah,
Well, it's not lost, but they are losing.
they're
I agree.
losing it. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I agree with all of the skepticism. I understand. There's just no reason that the World Economic Forum. I can't think of yes, I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't seem the risk of allowing a populist message like that to take root
Yeah.
and to have perhaps not just millions in Argentina, but millions around the world that are listening to this dude, especially in the Southern Hemisphere because he speaks Spanish. So like they're all going to be listening to this dude. That's not good for them.
Yeah.
Like I don't see the angle there.
The only one is like if he was, they would just be like, "Hey, we can co-opt this movement. We can get them going, and then like he can kind of turn it to something that we want instead." But
Yeah,
but,
Right,
that,
like
but at
maybe-
that point, it's like
classic controlled op, but still,
Yeah.
like if that's the case, you're only radicalizing people further because if they go down this path of like, because the way Milei phrases it, he's like, "I want to be president so that I can give the power back to the people." He's like, "I don't want any." He's like, "I'm gonna get rid of all these departments." Like he's fucking throwing them off the board. I'm like, he sounds like Ron Paul, but with Hitler mixed in. It's awesome.
Why would you want to side with the United States and Israel? The people who are doing the exact opposite.
Because
Well,
we're not
I mean,
commies.
Yeah, perhaps he's
because
just
we're not commies.
perhaps he's
right?
ignorant to
Ah.
American politics. I mean, I like up until a week ago, I didn't know anything about Argentinian politics.
True. No, but I don't think that's true. I think that everybody pays attention to American politics.
They pay attention, but like if you're not from here, is it easy to know that we're as taken over as Argentina is?
I just don't think he wants the U.S. Israel
He doesn't want that
conglomerate
smoke.
to stick their finger in his pie.
It's probably
I think he's going like, listen, if I had to choose one, I'm going to choose like the ones that are
Alright.
closest to me and the ones that have already done coups
that's
in
the
every
pra-
fucking place
Sorry,
around.
That's the
I'm-
pragmatic explanation.
I'm gonna throw something
Yeah.
at you here.
Good idea.
I'm more skeptical of Milei than Oliver Anthony.
I am not.
I mean-
I'm not skeptical. I'm really not
No,
skeptical.
I understand
either.
what you're saying because
He's a politician.
yeah,
As,
he
as
is. He
Ribble,
is. He's
as,
a,
as the great Rebel says here, I don't know enough about this man. I've seen some highlights, but I mean, it's just like with Vivek. Like we've
Yo,
seen,
Bob Barker
we've
died?
seen him say like super mega
Is that
based
true?
liberty shit. But then
What?
we've also seen
yeah,
him.
Bob Barker died like
We've also seen him
What?
say some stuff that's like. So I haven't seen. I don't speak fucking Spanish, so I haven't seen all of what Milei has said. I also like. I'm when I'm seeing him speak, I'm interpreting it through like subtitles. I'm not able to pick up on subtle. I know there's a lot that I'm missing from just seeing
Look, he's-
screenshots of a guy.
Well,
in
listening to
Spanish.
him-
He's
Or not
being,
screen
he's being
clips.
he's being framed as a far right
As a
leader
99.
in the Western media. So to
And
me,
they're just
that,
making it
that's-
cooler.
I can understand.
no,
him.
I'm saying that tells me he may not be controlled up because they wouldn't be demonizing him already if that were the case.
Listen, Bob Barker died, and I
Yeah.
believe that he was always one that wanted to help control the pet population. And Cole is carrying on his legacy.
Indeed.
I am.
Mhm.
This is for you, Bob. That's why I set out antifreeze every night for the puppies in the area.
Just like milk for Santa.
Milk for Santa. Antifreeze for Bob
Real
Barker.
quick, we have a guy in the chat whose name is a guy who likes to put tomato in his cousin's mouth.
Yo, what's up?
Wow.
What's up, man?
What is that?
You caught my eye.
Why do you do that for?
What a strange name.
I was gonna say the guy Milei. When I do listen to him, I understand a lot of what he's saying, and
Yeah.
the subtitles are pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that there is.
Same.
All right.
I can speak it, or I can understand
But
it.
I was
honest-
I was
am-
more getting at like picking up certain cultural cues or inflections and ways they say things, which I'm not going to be able to.
Yeah.
But it's just it is refreshing to finally see actually somebody that doesn't like it's because we've seen libertarians, we've had Thomas Massey and all the other ones that were in government. They always say the right things. They do great stuff. He's like a different breed that's good to see in the mainstream of literally going like, no, like these politicians are like the problem. Like,
He's-
they're, like,
he's-
not the
his
problem.
rhetoric, his
They're, like,
rhetoric is hardcore.
He's
man.
a better speaker than Donald Trump or Boris Johnson or any of these guys. Like he is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Better,
it's
than, better than
and-
DeSantis.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
but
How do I
but
smile? What?
I don't know if I said this last night, if it was on recording, but I genuinely find him more endearing.
I know
now, 'cause
you.
I'm like,
I understand
what a
why.
social weird. Like he's one of us, like in a certain way. Like,
No, he's
like,
a politician.
he's a me,
He's one of
he's
y'all.
a toad,
He ain't one of me.
He's a North
He's
man.
He's
North
an inverse of Cole.
like,
I
yo,
will
this is-
not let you down.
Yeah.
Now is where I'm supposed to.
It almost
smile.
feels like he knows. He's like, this is a failing campaign, but whatever the powers that be, like Israel's already invested so much money. I went to the wall, I touched the wall, and now I just got to go to this debate. But I know I'm getting killed. And once Trump comes out and he's going to end my career, and he's like, this is going awfully.
I'm
This
just
this
holding
street
on
shitter.
for another pandemic. I just come on,
Yeah,
give me
yeah,
another,
he's like,
give me another. I need it really bad.
This
I
street
won't lock
shitter is
down again. I'll
embarrassing
remind
me.
everybody why I'm better than Trump.
Dude, I'm just waiting for him. Like every morning, he has to be like, God, I just really want to be done with this. And he just sees like his phone notify him, and he's just like, yeah, he's got another like $2 million transfer to your bank account. And he's like, all right, I think I'm gonna still do this.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like every time he just goes like, I don't think I'm out. And they're like,
Strap on the
here's
old
another
white
500
cowboy
grand.
boots.
Here's another 500 grand to keep doing this, whatever you're doing. He's like, all right,
Like,
fine. I'm
It's
gonna
like,
keep
oh,
doing
I actually like the Jews.
This
now.
this is my argument in defense of Vivek, who has much in his history that is eyebrow raising. Still, the rhetoric, like the fact that he's the second leading GOP candidate and he's talking the things that he's talking about. I ran a like a 2-3 minute speech that he did.
I thought you were about to tell us how you ran a mortgage company.
I ran a $2 million mortgage company.
Maybe you should go for a run, Clint.
I was literally staring. I'm like, is
I
he
was-
gonna do it?
I really, dude, I thought the same exact thing because I heard him say I ran like a 2 to 3.
When I go on shows, people ask me what I did. I have to tell them.
It's just funny because we've known you for so long. We've
I
watched
know.
so many shows,
I know.
and
I
you've
know.
done it on shows with us. So we're just like,
he
gonna do
said
it?
2 to
Yeah.
3, and I heard million right
No.
after that.
I ran a clip from him. It was a 3-minute off the cuff answer to an audience question, and the response was like 1776 paired with like, this is why DEI and ESG is destroying not just our economy but the global economy, and the culture war is being lost. And like I just don't know how you can astroturf that perfectly. If he's that skilled that he's just like, I know exactly what the fuck to say, even though I am completely in the bag for the World Economic Forum. Okay, well then I'm screwed. But it doesn't change the fact that message is compelling to people, and he's reaching a ton of people with it,
agree,
and I
yeah.
like that, and that's dangerous. So if they're actually putting these guys up there that are total, what's it called, the candidate that's
Controlled out.
yeah, but
Yeah.
there's an actual term for it. Anyways, Manchurian candidates.
yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
If he's a Manchurian candidate, they're still playing with fire. Like if Oliver Anthony is a Manchurian artist, you're playing with fire. Like what are you doing? I would, if I was them, I would be continuing to stranglehold the censorship apparatus.
Doesn't
I'd be
that
suffocating
scare
these
you?
people.
Doesn't
I
that
agree
scare
with you.
you
They're-
more?
They're riling up the base.
What are
yeah.
you doing, Donald Trump? Oh, you got 1 million people in the Capitol. What are you
Dude.
doing? You're playing with fire. Like what are you doing? What are they doing? This is not unapproved
No, it's
messaging. If
fucked
that's
up.
the
No,
case.
but obviously, I'm on
What
the
are we being
opposite
set up for?
because I'm well.
Interesting framing.
I just completely had a thought. Like I was just imagining in my head that like we have camps over in India where we have like hordes of children we're MK ultraing, and that's where we got Vivek.
He is the chosen one.
Oh
He's
shit!
Look at his
Dude.
smile.
It's like-
That's why his head's so goddamn big.
Yeah, it's like that scene from like the third or the second Indiana Jones movie, like where they're in India and it's like that kid running, and all the kids are like standing up and they're like, yay!
Oh, yeah,
getting out of
yeah.
the mines because he made it out. He like got out, and that's the
Yeah,
effect.
yeah.
He got out of India, and they're like, he made it.
Yeah.
He was gonna be the host for that Slumdog Millionaire Part 2, but it never got off. And they're like, just put him in American politics, I guess.
My thought with the whole astroturfing, if all these guys are Manchurian candidates, I don't think it's more or less that they there's like one approval coming down from above, like, hey, like this guy does this. Like I just think there is inefficiency when you have something a conglomerate this big, the deep state itself. There are like different middle managers that I think this is the right idea to go down, and I think they are playing with fire. But for real, I think it's approved in one way.
Bud Light move.
Like what? Yeah, it's just like they just some fucking guy, I don't know who, like some middle manager within the deep state is just like, yeah, I think we could like maybe the libertarians is what we can go to and just try to like do one of the, but like the problem with our message, because it is the truth, even when you try to like turn it, there's still the truth there, and people are like, no, but that makes sense, and you're fucking wrong. Like whatever they do after they stop running or get to where
are they putting out feelers like because they're obviously like, listen, this shit is collapsing, so maybe they're putting out feelers to see which way they can go, and then they'll try to figure out how to monetize.
Yeah, they're like, let's just kind of, we'll fix whatever happens afterwards, whatever like comes from this libertarian candidate, we'll fix whatever, like we can fix that part, we just have to get this guy in, and even if the message like radicalizes.
In the end of the day, the Jews are always going to make their money.
Yeah, they're gonna
figure it out.
Code, I need you to do a little producing. Can you look up and see if it's true that Ben Shapiro started a show called Facts? And Gamerizer just that caught my eye.
All right.
That's disgusting.
That's some. I mean, we'll have to save that for Tower Gang because that'd be glorious.
We should start a show called Feelings.
Yeah. So he has to be like, I don't care about you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Imagine like Hassan starts Feelings or something.
I think there is.
Well, I just wanted to say, I think that the major takeaway about Milei and Vivek, for that matter, is that the reason that the libertarians, because like Thomas Massey is obviously, you know, better philosophically than Oliver Anthony or Vivek, for that matter, but he has never caught fire like Vivek has. Is that the libertarians that downplay the need for fiery rhetoric are fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And it's as good evidence as you'll ever find that that's the case. Like Javier Milei is exploding. He's a hardcore anarcho-capitalist. The only reason, I mean, obviously, it requires a right population that's like prepared for,
ready. That to be like, yeah, that's
because they've been dealing with inflation for so long. Like we'll get there eventually, but once you get there, it's not going to be enough to be even a Ron Paul level speaker, because people are going to be in revolutionary mindsets. You have to like fire
because
them up.
I think maybe it took longer. I think it's a different, because we don't get to the level of Argentina inflation to get to that point. I think once, because Americans are used to a certain standard of living that they've even known, even the fucking like boomers understood, because they grew up in the time where you could buy a house. But,
oh my god! All right, real quick, bring up Dez's comment, and I do want to confirm. Yes, we did look it up. This will definitely check out Tower Gang later. We're gonna have to review this on Tower Gang. Apparently, yes, Ben Shapiro did make a show called Facts.
Even
there's already a couple
Tower Gang, is that a political show?
Even 25 or 30% inflation in America would be enough to get a lot of people losing their shit.
I mean, oh my god, I can imagine just 15%. I mean, I really think
I mean, we got close to that.
Well, we got close to that with just their metrics, right? Based on actual real metrics.
It was north of that.
Yeah, it was north of that.
Briefly.
I admire.
It was north of Richmond.
I admire Clint's ability to still think that the people will be mad about something. Like I was telling, we were talking the other day, and I was saying I'm really worried that this next thing of COVID and the mask mandates and all this stuff will go down just like 2020. People, I got no faith in people. I think they're fucked.
I mean, yes and no. I think it's a yes and no. I think a lot of people changed their lives in a lot of ways in the last pandemic or whatever the fuck you want to call it, to adjust to that reality. I did, you did.
We all
I mean,
did.
I know not everyone's like us.
Not
even
many,
then,
though.
I'm still not entirely in a
Millions.
position to where I'm like completely comfortable if that happened again. But I've moved my life more so that way, and a lot of people have moved it completely that way.
Keep in mind, millions fled from California and New York and any of the harsh lockdown states.
Yeah.
And then those that were in the red states became even more radicalized and appreciative of any sort of liberties that were remaining with them during that period. So, like, look, I understand why you're so black-pilled, and I understand that the propaganda is pretty dominant, but it doesn't change the fact that people, when they are suffering economically, financially, spiritually, they revolt. They do not stay down forever. You can look at throughout human history. There's never been a period where people are like, I will accept, fealty to these murderous overlords forever. There will be a rebellion.
Yeah, because I think it's different, because like with the COVID stuff, I think people can take like whatever, staying at home, just these like some tyrannical stuff, But when it gets to their money and not being able to actually put food on the table, that's when people actually start getting like, they're like, I'm hungry and my baby's hungry.
Yeah.
They're like,
People aren't going to sit in their house and starve and be like, this is cool.
they'll sit in their
Yeah.
house
Yeah.
because there's
what I mean,
virus
And
out
the
there.
thing
But
is, they
I think
never
it's
really ever snapped their finger and was like, now you starve. There was like little gradual changes. So they kind of ease, and like smart people identified this and started changing their reality to adapt to this. And thinking that maybe this could happen in the future. You don't want to be dependent.
That's the problem, though. Like you said, you can't snap your fingers, and it's like now you got no food.
Well, my point is they've already kind
people-
of trained us for this, and a lot
People
of
that
people
live in that house right there.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'll see them in Home Depot, and they're wearing a mask in Florida, and like right next to where I live. It's a mentality, and like you said, they'll lock people down. People won't realize it again. They'll be like, maybe we do got a lockdown. I heard it's really bad. And it doesn't happen overnight, but like the smarter people saw, like, if we continue this, we will starve. We surely will. And it's like, I don't know how many more times you can do that, but I think that they can do it again. And I think people will go with it again.
Okay, I won't disagree with you on that. That like it could happen
Yes.
again, and maybe the pain isn't high enough that they actually revolt this go around. But
Yeah.
but I am 100% confident that there is a threshold for pain at which the American people will snap.
But then
And I think we
and
have
that
to
threshold's
remind
too late.
ourselves we're in
It might be.
Florida, so you have to think about the political realities of that.
you know what?
You know, like I
I'm
mean,
not-
I know you're in Mass, so you're
Listen,
fucked, but
Toad's dead probably, but I'm not worried about Florida. I'm not worried about where I'm at right now. It's just I know where I came from when this all started, and I know what that's going to look like for those people. I already know what it looks like for them now. My old job there, they're probably talking about, they're whispering about, listen, we're going to have to start wearing masks in the office again. We can't do this, you know. But they had people wearing masks by themselves in their own trucks. I was like, what the fuck? It's retarded. And they're going to do it again, and people will just be like, you know what? I want to protect the
no,
bag.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
but
surprised if some of the cities burn. Like,
Dude,
Okay,
like,
yeah,
like,
but-
and now I bet burn out. I mean, like
possibly.
literally like a ball of
Actually,
like,
that
if they
chicken might
try
be
to
burning.
clean
Hold
it
on.
up-
gutter
oh
shit. But
no, yeah. But
If they try it again, there's going to be like, probably more
but
riots.
it's every
shit,
time
whatever.
every time they do this though, like it's not necessarily just the people, it's that it destroys the economy more inflation. And that's the ultimate thing. I think that's the only way in the United States to get people to actually, I mean, was whenever they have whatever little money they have gets destroyed, and now that's like, I can't put food on the table. Like now it's just like, okay, who was the ones? And if it's very easy once you look back on it, you have like hindsight 2020
yeah, and
vision.
then the government assistance starts to dwindle. It means less. It's given to a smaller pool.
Dude,
of
it's already people already doing it
you
with
know?
they're like talking about how when they were younger they were remember like the food stamps buying, like, you know, you go to the store and you could buy like tons of groceries with just food stamps, you know, whatever, even the poorest people. But now they can only get like, you know, a jug of milk, some eggs, and some bread, and then that's it, rather than for $100 or whatever they get.
I'm telling you that is the biggest danger to the powers that be is the cost of groceries.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that, there's nothing that comes close.
anything-
and
anything-
as stupid as that is, like we've been spied on and we've been dragged into wars unnecessarily.
Dude,
There's all these evil things, but it's until they see the grocery prices go up.
Yeah, when
then
it's
they go.
crazy.
Then they go.
Yeah, when it
oh
comes,
shit,
when
it's
it comes,
bad.
yeah, when it
And
comes
they
to
even-
not being able to feed your family, that's
That's really,
one
and
of
it
the
wasn't
last
even,
straws.
and they even, like, you got to think about, we even got up to where we were, gas prices were insanely inflated over more than, and that was still not enough. Like it's just the food.
they're still going on.
It's like you can't, if I can't move, I'm fine. If I can't like go anywhere, I'm fine. If I can't see my family, I'm fine. You take away the food, that's like the red line. It's been for every civilization, it's been the red line.
Keep in mind too, like Oliver Anthony's track is one of, you know, lamenting the material conditions of his people. There will be an evolution in these kind of ballads that goes from like, we're upset, this is screwed up, and then it will be like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, who are we going after?
Yeah,
Because that's the arc of revolutionary music. Like it doesn't start with like, let's go to war.
Let's march.
Yeah,
It starts with like, hey, we don't have, like, you remember how you used to be able to buy like whatever your entire bag of groceries and you spend less than $100. It's like now you can't do that anymore. You remember this, like, and then they're like, hey, I think that's the guy that's doing it. And then it starts getting, after the food is gone, then they go, okay, that's definitely the guy.
Yeah,
and now we're gonna ring him up, like, because like he took our food away.
You know what's funny though? In Oliver Anthony's song, which it does kind of go, it's almost boomerish in a sense where he's like, you could eat your fudge rounds at 300 pounds and all this shit. And people are like, oh, you know, it's talking about welfare, because it does kind of seem like it's not an educated stance on what the issue is. But
I disagree.
no, I mean, to me, it's kind of like
he's right though.
he is right in a way, but
it's what your boomer
When
parents would
he's-
say.
Frankly, I
It's
think
what
you're wrong.
it's what your boomer parents would say. They would be like,
Look
you
at these
gotta
fatties.
work. Yeah, look at these fatties. They get, they eat shit and they don't work at all.
the
That-
bigger thing.
You guys took it totally the wrong way. He opens that with we've got people on the streets with nothing to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's saying that the people that are on welfare are fat, and why the fuck are they on welfare?
Sure.
Right,
When we
exactly.
have actually poor people in this
The
country.
bigger
Yeah.
issue here is that like when things really go to shit, like all of this revolution that you're talking about that he's fomenting, those fat people are getting fed. That's like something that like if you really hone in on that, that's probably a song in itself. Is like, yo, those motherfuckers are still eating because of the guys that are gonna kill you. And when they kill you,
You're right.
they'll feed these fat motherfuckers until it's over. And then when it's over. Now there's no more fudge rounds. Now you're 300 pounds. What's gonna happen? It's too late. It's
Well,
too late. So
Yeah,
I mean,
those people. I mean, if you're 300 pounds, you're never gonna rebel.
No,
Yeah,
but you understand what I'm saying, right? Like they have
Yeah, you
that's
can't
most
even-
of the
you can't even
population.
stand.
No.
They'll have most of the population strung along with them because they could just keep printing this money and people will be,
No.
But the problem
You
is
can't
those-
just keep printing the money and buy food with it.
Yeah,
the
those
money
peop-
will lose its
Those
purchasing
people
power.
literally aren't producing. and
It'll-
they're like
But it's not going to lose. But I feel like it's not going to lose purchasing power like this. I feel like they'll be able to maintain it and then gone.
It's gone. And when
And
it's
then
gone,
it's too late.
I
Then
don't
it's
see.
too
I
late.
don't think it'll be parabolic like that or like a cliff. I think it'll be. I mean, we're already dealing with it. We're already in. We've been in 10% inflationary periods, and
Yeah,
now it's
it's
dropped
clinched.
down to 5.
I think
And
it's
these
gonna keep
motherfuckers
going
are
up.
still eating.
Yeah,
Is what he's
For
saying.
now.
Right.
And they'll keep eating and be happy and fed, bread and circus until it's done.
I
And then
don't
when the
think so.
circus-
Well,
I don't think so because
Well-
the inflationary pressure will get so severe that the Federal Reserve will have to respond, or the Treasury will have to go into austerity period with the federal government if they want to save the dollar's purchasing power. You also have the competing interests of the BRICS that are trying to get in on the game. So
but I think
like-
what he's saying is
I-
it doesn't matter what it would take. They're going to keep feeding those people no matter what.
They have to.
They-
That's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
They're like,
that's
but
not how
eventually-
communist countries work.
that was
But
my
eventually
earlier-
they can't.
That was my
Yes.
earlier point is that the pool of people that qualify for these will start to dwindle or the goods that you can get with these will dwindle over time as well because these people aren't producing and we're in a country that slowly is producing less and less and less.
If I was America, if I was like the people, the politicians in charge, though, they know this. They've seen it go wrong a million times. Those are the people that I'm protecting until I can't anymore. Because I need them to keep that facade.
Yeah, correct.
Of
But until I can't anymore.
Right?
Yes,
And then
yes.
that stops
Yeah.
like this, though. It doesn't stop like this. It stops like
Well,
that.
yeah,
It's over. And then it's too late.
And also,
Well,
here's
it's
the
not
other-
too late. Then it's full rebellion time.
Well, what
Yeah.
they're hoping for is
Dude,
that
you got it. You can't rebel on an empty stomach.
No. But I'm saying
No.
like
There's
they're-
been plenty of rebellions by starving people.
yes, but
This
what the
is
thing
why
is
the
they're
slow grind fucks them because as they do this, they're building up a parallel market that is able to compensate for
Right.
but they're- I
different
think
odds
also
and
they're
ends.
hoping.
And the more they crack down, the more they create this separate.
I think what they're hoping for though
parallel
is
market.
that as because they're stringing along these fatties and they're going to keep them fed all the way up to then. They're hoping that the revolution is not against them, is not against the powers that be. It really is against because they see the fat people and they're going
That's
like,
another
wait,
thing.
why were you getting fed? That
It's
doesn't make no
not-
sense. I want that guy. And because every revolution has like, it's been able to turn like, why did the French Revolution, dude? They just started cutting everybody that they saw as, they literally went after the fat and like people, like after the people that they saw as affluent and that were getting paid, and they took down those guys.
Good.
And like, so I think they're.
You got breed in
Yeah.
the chat.
But I
Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping is that they think like, okay, if we keep feeding these people, not only are they going to be our loyal servants whenever it's done, whenever all the shit dries up, they're going to go after them and not us.
Yeah,
Because I think
that's the part that I was saying. Like you're singing about those people. It's like you're targeting them, and it's like it's a very boomer conservative thing. He's right in a way, but again, it's not politically savvy. It's not intelligent because now we're forming like this is a galvanizing song, right? Now we have a lot of people looking at that's just your fat cousin. He's just lazy. He doesn't have anything to do with why the world is going to shit around you. They're opening
yeah, that's
portals.
what I'm
I
afraid is that-
disagree.
Is that
I
they
disagree.
they choose
No,
that
no,
they,
this
I
is
know he
focused on
does.
the blue collar
I
working.
mean, I think
class
he's a
and
blue
get-
collar worker.
though,
Yeah.
getting the real actual salt of the earth people at least somewhat activated or
Yes.
somewhat semi-conscious of the fact that like, hey, there are things going on and maybe I should, I don't know, orient my life this way slightly differently.
It's an
to
old
compensate for
old
it.
Americana message that there's nothing to be applauded about being on welfare when you don't need to be, and that's a good message.
It's a great message. What we're afraid of is that
seems dangerous though.
But no, what I'm afraid of is that yes, he points out the other enemy as the politicians. It also is making the fatties, the people that are he's pointing them out also as enemies, and you don't want to get very confused because I don't
think he was calling them the enemies.
No, I don't think so.
I think
it
those
can be
people are
taken that
taking
way
advantage.
by boomers. It literally can be.
Okay, that's fine.
They have seen them as
fine, but
enemies.
he still was, nuanced enough to delineate between the two. He was, and the entire song is about the Northmen.
Yeah, but I'm fine if we have a war on fatties.
I mean, me too.
Good luck, Doug.
Damn.
I was going to say one thing about the COVID shit really quickly, though. I agree with Clint, and I think that so many people have been red pilled by the last go around. If they try like the same thing, essentially, again, I think a bunch of people will still buy into it, but it'll be far fewer.
Toad might actually move.
And
maybe.
Well, I think the decentralization aspect of it that we saw in 2020 is going to be even more extreme. And what we're already seeing, like 10 states have banned mask mandates. Like Abbott in Texas, like just tweeted out like today, like Texas is banning mask
I think
mandates.
the reality is the non-compliance will be astronomical.
But Texas also just like shut down some schools because the COVID numbers were too high. So
I have no idea.
What's the story?
Well, Texas is a psyop as far as like controlled op.
It's not really as base as they act like.
It's not red. It's a
weak.
purple. It's a purple state for sure. Because I mean, there are like Austin.
I mean, there are areas. Yeah,
It got more red, like because of the COVID shit.
It also did get more blue. But it also did get more blue because the people were moving from California.
No, but those were the people mostly who were anti that.
Yeah, I understand that, but that doesn't make it more red. That just makes it less like vaccine.
I'd still rather be in Florida in a rural area in a red part of it than in a red part of Texas, even if it's rural. Because it is. I feel like currently Florida is more resolutely in that I don't know I almost say MAGA vibe.
I will say I hope
Texas is.
I hope people are taking from the migration and just realizing how few good options we have left. Yeah. In order to flee this stuff, to take that as like a catalyst to act now, because it's getting
to me?
I am actually. It's getting late innings. Like there's just so few options for us at this point. It's really scary.
Dude, you know how many bets I've lost in the extra innings?
When you hear me being like, I don't know, I don't think it's that big, I'm literally speaking of it from my perspective, from my local area. I'm not meaning that it's going to be great everywhere. If I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some sort of lockdowns, but now I think there might be areas where that's basically a non-factor, like maybe places like Florida, or maybe just a tiny factor of just dumb shit here and there.
Toad yesterday was telling us that
places like where Toad is, Toad's probably you're likely going to be fucked.
No, but he was telling us that there was a college yesterday that had mask mandates for their entire school. It was a black
It's a black college in Atlanta. That was kind of
Atlanta.
That was kind of the thing that like hyped everything up. It was Morris Brown.
This guy's such a homosexual. No, nobody's saying that because of DeSantis. We're saying because of Florida man. We're saying Texas is Joe Rogan man. Florida is Florida man.
No, the culture has a lot to do with it.
It has nothing to do. Yeah, the culture reflected who they put in.
I think DeSantis was way better on COVID than Abbott, I would say.
Well, also
DeSantis would have been horrible if the cultural Florida man did it if he didn't understand them.
Yeah.
And DeSantis would have been terrible if he wasn't planning to run for president. He had to do something to separate himself.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Because Florida from the beginning, I mean, almost like probably I was around that area. Almost from the beginning, they didn't give a fuck about they were like, we're not doing masks, like we're not staying home for past the whatever 2 weeks, 3 weeks. After that, they were just like, nah, fuck this.
Yes,
this is live. Yeah, we're fucking going, man.
You idiot! Look at the top.
We're fucking riffing. We're just going. I'm not even having to throw topics in. It's great.
Wasn't there one more you had?
We can do the Russell.
Let's
Russell
play
brand.
that Russell brand video I have there. About the Maui stuff. We'll talk about the Maui stuff, and then we do got to get Clint out. It's probably only gonna be about an hour and a half long ish. So we got another half hour. I see you guys in the chat. I'm trying to pay attention. So if you have any questions or anything, we're trying to see if there's anything relevant. But if you have questions,
honestly, we're fucking live. We're just ready. If you want to talk, if you have questions or shit you want to throw in live,
we can even whenever you help. Clint can bounce early, so because he's got an episode with Dave Smith.
But you guys can keep going. But I gotta go at 1:30.
Yeah. So we're That's basically when the
Actually,
show starts. But if you
Yeah,
have any
my
questions after,
so my internet, we run on DSL here because we're in the middle of nowhere.
oh, so
I
we
don't,
gotta boot when he's.
I don't know if we can
Damn
do 2
so
hours.
whatever.
That's fine.
Yeah,
You,
all right,
you
whatever.
can go 2 hours.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. All right, whatever. We'll see what we're feeling. All right, go ahead and bring that up, would you? Hey, producer here. Yeah, you want to produce?
He's scrolling. It's you, Top.
Yeah, it's you.
It could be
That's
me
me.
as
Okay.
well. All
Top
right, Top's got it.
scrolling Twitter, his own Twitter, actually.
Yeah, no, I just put up.
What?
I thought I did. I put up the video that we filmed of Clint, but I don't know where
Oh.
it is.
Ah.
I wanted to see if I could
We're gonna
send
play
in
it.
a
We'll
link.
play it on Tower Gang on Wednesday.
If you guys
Guys-
didn't get to watch Tower Gang last night, you got to see me waking up to a very disturbing video.
We'll play it. We'll play it. You got to watch last night's episode, and then we'll play it. We'll play that video on Wednesday.
All right.
I can't believe that you did that.
It was Jose's idea, by the way. It was wonderful.
It was amazing.
All right. All right. I don't know. I feel like we should just leave it at that. You guys, the audience, can go do.
Yeah,
the
go
work.
go watch.
They'll figure it out.
Watch last night's
All right,
Yeah,
episode.
that's for another
Hey,
day.
the last 30
I tried
minutes.
pressing play and the audio wasn't doing anything, so I don't know if you have it
Because
muted.
you have the audio off. You're muted. No, you're muted
Oh,
on
I'm
Twitter.
muted.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's I thought it was the Mexicans' fault.
User error.
That's right.
One of the
Podcast
conspiracy
IRL, when
theories
does
is,
that
of
start?
course, that these fires were started deliberately to benefit rich elite, like BlackRock. Now, look at the Ukraine war. Ukraine have already done a deal with BlackRock to rebuild their nation using BlackRock investment. If you apply that mentality to this situation, if BlackRock end up benefiting from the fires in Hawaii, then the conspiracy theory is almost a redundant detail. Did they start it? Didn't they start it? Is it inevitable that the suffering of ordinary people leads to the benefit of rich elites and massive organizations like BlackRock and billionaires across the globe? And why is Bill Gates buying all this agricultural land when he's not a farmer and he's not using it in the way that these breaks were set up to be used? Doesn't it all feel like a kind of macro conspiracy that's so diffuse, institutional, oddly abstracted and bureaucratically opaque that sometimes you just want to simplify it into they started this fire, they started it with a laser from space, and whether it's true or not,
Oh, damn it.
All right, whatever. Anyways, I couldn't understand a word. So, Clint, can you actually just go ahead and
DSL,
give us
damn
a
select.
summation in English of what's going on, man?
Yeah,
You
talk
want me to
about the-
translate what the British man
Yeah,
had to
I was
say?
gonna-
Tell us what the BlackRock
had
connection
no
is
clue.
with the Maui fires, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
he was just basically saying, whether or not the space laser is correct, which, I'm skeptical.
Jewish space laser.
but
yeah. Space Jews.
He's saying if it ultimately benefits, the powers that be, and he was laying out BlackRock as an example of that. Well, then that's the reason that these conspiracy theories look merited. And that, but people are saying that he was actually advocating for the space laser, which he clearly wasn't. He was just making the point that the rich and powerful always benefit from the catastrophe, and the poor people suffer. Why is that the case? And this is one thing that I think libertarians in the past had really struggled to relate to the people on, and I'm hoping that that's stopping now, because it's just evidently true that through the lockdowns, through the COVID era, the rich got incredibly more rich and powerful, and everybody else suffered. So. I think he's just drawing that connection to the Hawaii fires.
And also, it's obviously there was some sort of government conspiracy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but there was, with them blocking off the roads, the one road that led out.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They had police barricades on it. They didn't want, the only people that got out. There's an article on it, I think, but people had to actually go around and
Can you fact
trespass.
check in, Clint, please?
No,
No, it's 100%
No,
true.
it
No,
is
this is true. Yeah,
But let
people
me-
survive
shut
by
down water.
defying those orders.
Let
Yeah.
me say though,
They sent kids home. They sent them home from school, but there was no emergency at the time,
Yeah.
and they were all there. There's no emergency broadcast working. There's just a bunch of kids in their houses, and they fucking set it on fire.
Yeah.
Dude,
Let's-
this is where my tinfoil hat goes on.
I-
man, with this
before
this
before
shit
you
right
guys go
here,
down
yeah.
that path, because I know you're gonna hate what I have to say.
Ah.
I
Hold
grew
on,
up in
Clint.
Southern California.
It's almost like sending the sick COVID patients into
Into the
nursing
hospitals.
homes.
Yeah.
Almost.
Look, I understand and I'm not even going to come to a conclusion here. I just want to give a little anecdotal evidence as to why this could be much ado about government just being shitty at what it does. I grew up in San Diego. There was fires almost every year.
Yeah.
They would block off the roads very often. It's not to keep the people in, it's to keep the people from going towards the fire, because they're trying to go get their possessions if they weren't at home. So usually they would have a patrol set up that would be like, if you're on your way out, you're good to go. If you're on your way in, we're going to stop you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't seen video that's like actually proving what was the purpose of that barricade. If the purpose was to keep people from going towards the fire, then it's totally legitimate. So I just want to say
why'd they turn off the water?
Well, I think that boils down to kind of a DEI type of worldview where it's or not DEI, but more ESG. Like they put in some fucking lunatic who was like believed in some water sky god.
Yeah. There are water.
Yeah. I've seen
I don't
little
even-
bits
I
of
don't
it. It
even-
literally
yeah.
was.
The guy
There
in
are
charge of the
water
water
restrictions, like,
believed
everywhere, man.
that water there was a water god. He was like a fucking lunatic.
Bro,
Yeah.
you're on an island.
Yeah.
Water
Well,
everywhere.
I mean,
But
to be
that is
fair,
part of-
every religion believes there's a water.
Let's just
god.
drink salt water. Baby. Salt water everywhere.
But they don't take it so literally. Like
Just
if
like
you
here.
believe that there's a water sky god, you'd probably be like, well, it's like, you know, water brings us life, and it's like, all right, well, there's a fire coming 100 miles per hour. Maybe we want that water to help bring us life. You know.
Oh,
So-
well, now there is also here's the engineer question answer to this. I think that they shut off the water to all those houses because they were trying to use it for whatever fire trucks because they were like, we can't let these people use water in their own homes. We won't have enough pressure and flow to the actual firemen to actually put out the fires. I think that because they're thinking that everybody in all the
That
houses
makes
turning on
sense.
their water to fight the fire in their
They
own
divert
home.
their water, and that's like city water. So they
But
probably
Yeah, they're
are
like,
able to divert it like
we
that.
know you're not going to be able to use it effectively like we can. And I
Yeah.
mean, whatever. If you
I have talked to some, or not talked. I've heard commentary from some of the victims there, and they allege that they were driving around to the firemen they were saying like, our house is next, we need you, and the firemen were turning them away. Like they were just we've been told not to. So
I've heard that too. That again,
Just following.
thinking
And
about
that's
COVID. That's like the police taking the knee when they're literally burning everything. It's always fire with these fucking.
but no, I
Nephilims.
think that it's a plausible thing for them to just say, hey, you can't fight these fires because we have to keep the water pressure up over here or whatever. And so it's very plausible for them to say that. Now it could be just the government conspiracy of like, we want these to burn down.
Well,
But these firemen, this isn't them just saying, hey, stand down, just let it burn. They're saying, hey, we need the water somewhere else.
Key takeaway:
You
don't
can't-
get city water.
Well, yeah,
That's true.
It could
Yeah.
just be that it's because
Unironically, that is the like sort of a takeaway.
As
is
it go-
yeah, it
live
could
in
just
places where you
That's
can
why
have
I'm
like a
here.
well.
yeah, it could just be that all of this is because the government is controlling all this shit. They're controlling the water. There isn't enough supply.
Well,
of
whether
water
they're
for
doing it
all of this.
intentionally or not, it's
Right.
the idea that
They-
you're on this grid to where you're
Right.
at their mercy.
I think we know that the fires were probably caused by a similar, or at least, the reason why there could be so much of a problem with the fires is similar to what we see in California, wherever else, because they don't like
for Clint.
cull,
they don't do the handle the
grass and whatever.
underbrush. Yeah,
This
but
was like a bunch of like
the-
sugar fields,
the-
I think, where this happened.
the
right?
other factor that makes this extraordinary is because you're on an island and the wind can get really
Yeah.
high. So like it's a confluence of factors. I think that ultimately, whether you go down the hard conspiracy theory route, it doesn't change the fact that the government is ultimately responsible for a huge
And
amount of
also-
this.
but they're
also
also
they're-
benefiting from
That's
this.
what, that was about to bring
Yeah.
that up. I was like, if maybe either this happened, like coincidentally it fell into their lap, and they were like, "Oh, an opportunity for us to
Yeah.
now like
it could be
take
that, yeah.
or if it was orchestrated, it doesn't matter. The end result's going to be the same. The
Mhm.
government's going to either they're with hand in hand with a BlackRock or any type of other company that they basically is corporate controlled and basically runs government anyway, is going to go, like I mean the government only it was like we'll send them $700. And they were like, we did something, we gave it, but like the government could give more, whatever. But they specifically gave a low amount so they could say they did something, but these people still can't use that to help anything out. So they have to go. You do have the local people going like, do not let people buy your land.
Yeah.
Do not
Well,
you
I
do
mean,
not let.
but you can tell them that if they're poor and
Yeah,
this is all they got. Like
yeah.
a lot of people are going to
All
sell
right,
that
guys.
land.
and they're still going
I
to
have
sell.
a super chat. Actually, I guess I can
right.
get super chats on Rumble. Just so know that in the future, my channel you can super chat on Rumble.
All right.
I have not set up any money, so I have no idea how I get this money, but I guess somehow theoretically I
goes
do.
right to Toad.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, all of it does.
but-
All of you guys.
But yeah, someone said Clint speaks Spanish like one's half-bred Mexican cousin. You paid me to say it, so I'll say it.
I liked Clint's
Puta madre.
Clint reading all that with a Spanish accent. Yeah, it was nice.
But
nice,
all right,
nice touch.
we have like 10 more minutes or so with Clint. The very guys skedaddle.
Even-
Go talk to Dave Smith.
I was gonna say I think Clint you could even stay like to 140.
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
Yeah, well, okay.
But,
well, either way, this will still probably take
I
more than
gotta-
10 minutes, so it makes sense. I think I remember you
Here,
guys.
look at this. This is another just weird crossover to COVID, and it's just like another like here's some
Yeah,
stimulus.
yeah,
Fuck you.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so many different things that shade and foreshadow probably what they would
Yeah.
love to do again. And Hawaii from what I've heard, was one of the worst, most compliant places for COVID.
Oh, yeah,
Real
for
serious
sure.
No, it
about
was
So-
awful.
It was
so they
massively
realize
locked
you can
down.
throw them a couple K and fuck them in the ass, and they'll be
Dude,
okay with it.
Hawaii became Australia.
Dude, yeah.
It was like bad.
Yeah,
bad,
Hawaii
dude.
had like really extreme. I
So
think,
are
like,
you really
vax requirements
surprised
to
when
get in
they
there? And,
fucking
yeah.
essentially cause the death of you and your family, and then fucking give you $700?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah. The wildfires are looking similar to like a COVID lab leak almost.
Trinidad.
Where it's like the government, the government like set up
It's
this
Trinidad and
situation where like
Tobago.
the fire could happen, similar to like they were setting up a situation where this virus could get like stronger and get out. I think that's kind of what happened with this fire thing. So then it's like, well, did they like intentionally start the fire? If they didn't, then they if they didn't, then they at least didn't give a shit. Is what I would say.
Well, what drives me crazy about this is like it's all taken as evidence of anthropogenic climate change, and it's like you have all of these fires that are raging out of control in many nations. All of these nations are functioning under this ESG DEI framework, and ultimately all of them are basically in opposition to forest management. And it's like, well, then, yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason these fires keep breaking out, is because you don't have a government that's actually managing forests anymore. Californians have known this forever. This has been a problem for fucking decades, dude.
Yeah,
and we deal with
it's
fires
seasonal.
constantly.
It's literally a seasonal thing.
We
It
have
comes
a
up and they're
fire
like-
season in California. Like that's been a thing my whole life.
Right, but
they
then-
know when it happens every year, and they know what causes it every year. I mean, it's sometimes.
But then Paradise gets fucking nuked off the face of the earth.
Right.
How are they supposed to fund their heroin program?
Right, but then but
they're cleaning up the underbrush.
Yeah.
Come on.
Clint alluded to another point there, though, where they could spin this into another reason why we need like climate lockdowns or something.
That's already happening.
That's the craziest part. If you did speak with like Newsom, he would probably tell you like, listen, man, the budget, the budgets are just, we're going to just have people working and clearing out these trees. The budget. Let's think about. But then they spend money like on everything.
Then they'll be like, but we got $1 trillion on a fucking wind farm off the coast.
Yeah.
Well, we also have trillions of gallons of oil that we could be drilling for.
Another 500 billion to make your kids gay.
Yeah. For real.
Jesus, dude.
All right.
No, that was a serious thing though with Maui, because at the same time they gave 700 to them, they literally had like the same day they gave Ukraine like fucking another like 20
I gotta
billion.
say too, fucking when Biden lands there, first off, it takes him 12 days to get out there, and then when he gets there, he fucking jokes about how the ground is hot.
I
love it.
No, actually, that's something I would. By the way,
dude, him
is that-
falling asleep at the Bowie thing was,
was
like
falling
everyone's like
asleep.
looking at him. I was like, all right, that's a whole.
Yeah, he was falling asleep.
Is
and
that
he
something I would do
lied.
though? Is that something I would do? Is I would make a joke when I got down there? Like I would do that.
Like,
because
man,
I
I
have
would do
no.
that.
I have no
Which is
choice.
why
done in
you
this
shouldn't be the
motherfucker.
president.
But then Joe Biden did that thing
Extra crispy.
where he was like, I understand your plight, and he like made up this thing about this house fire that like wasn't even true at all. Like,
He lies about how
fucking insane.
his house in Delaware was struck by lightning, and had a small kitchen fire because of it. He's like, I get it. Like y'all lost 1,000 kids. I also lost
I
like
get
a toaster once.
I lost all those top secret files that I.
All right. Last 10, 15 minutes or so we have with Clint. I saw you guys talk about this on your big brain one, and it sounded like you wanted to talk about it some more. Are you running for president? What's going on there? No, you decided not to.
I haven't decided not to.
Slept on there for 15 hours.
Clint's just like, nah.
No. I was just asking the guys about it because it was like it was a show that I think very few people are going to watch. So I was like, I'll get their feedback. Well, it was a Friday. Like we didn't announce it. It was a Friday. So I just wanted everyone's feedback because I'm getting asked a lot. So that's all. That's the whole reason I was thinking about it.
In my opinion, I don't think you should.
Yeah.
No shit. The agorist is like, I don't think you should go.
No, I mean,
run for political office.
there were periods of time where I think I said whatever. I mean, I guess it's not the greatest reason. It's kind of fucked up. But like whatever, do it for the grift. Like not meaning you are doing it for the grift, but whatever. At least my buddy will get something out of this.
Sure.
My perspective, particularly. But now I'm like I don't know. I feel like the framework is flawed, and you may fuck you in the ass essentially. So I'm like, no.
It's certainly possible. I don't know, man. It's a really tough thing. I'm gonna have to like mull over for a while longer because I'm. Someone asked in the chat earlier about Clintcast IRL. That'll be Luke and I are starting that next week, so that'll be probably a 5-chair show
Excited.
with
Excited
me,
to see
Top, and
that.
Cole as co-host.
in Miami, Florida. So we'll be
So-
doing that 6 to 8 p.m.
I like how you just look at
Monday through
Toad sitting
Thursday.
there staring at the screen, just like I'm not even here. Even in the hypothetical theoretical, in the theoretical
I'm
hypothetical.
keeping my eye on comments. I'm trying to do a bunch of things at once. What happened?
There's 5
Try not to
chairs.
cry.
There's 5 chairs. I'm sorry, Toad, but you're out.
Jesus,
What?
we already voted him out. Yeah.
Ah.
Basically,
No.
we just replaced Toad with Luke.
You know that
And
you
it
know
would
what-
get worse.
You know that hypothetical from last night? Clint did it for real.
Yeah, it actually happened.
Did you catch the show that we did with Just Clint where he asked us? You weren't here. You were working like a porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what he was just talking about. I
Okay.
think.
Yeah. I said no too, but for different reasons. I think that they would try to have you
He thinks that they would
doing a little
puppet
dance.
string me in
He-
and
he-
undermine me if
Yeah,
I
he-
didn't go along with
Oh
it.
yeah, for sure.
Top don't think anybody is above reproach around all of us. He was like, any one of you could be a fucking psyop. He's like, you would
That's
all
true,
fall.
yeah.
He was like,
You're all
like Cole already said like 30 grand. He's off the podcast.
Well, I already know I already know the players that would try to manipulate you. I'm not saying whether it'd be successful, but I just
Yeah.
feel like knowing you, it's like I don't feel like you'd want these people that have been friends and then now have a political relationship to
That's
where
what
they're bugging you, and now that's going to cause a lot of strife on your part.
Yeah,
and I
well,
just, you know,
Yeah.
I that's why I've
I want
always
my
been.
buddy to have good mental health. So.
Yes.
You
Oh,
already got
I've-
a fan. Look at that. Poker with the boys. Check it out.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So I agree with you that there will be a lot of people that try and go like, hey, you should phrase it like this, and it's like, look, you don't phrase it like I do. You don't know how to do it like I do. So like, if you want me to run, you got to let me run. So
Prepper Ninja.
if they were to start to interfere, I would bow out.
Like the shit we saw that we talked about
Just
last
like-
night. I might upset some people with Scott and Joe last night. I feel like you'd see more shit like that, and I feel like that's just kind of an undue expectation of
Yeah.
people.
That was really
Hey,
sad.
guys.
Man. That was
Yeah.
really sad.
Someone said Toad he shouldn't get a chair, but only a stool.
Yeah, like a
So he's still in there,
What
but
the
he's
fuck is
literally
going
just
on over here?
he's literally just sitting like this at the table.
He means like a toadstool.
But for
Yeah,
real,
yeah, but
you're,
it would just be. But I just think it'd be really funny if you could just only like see slightly above the
No,
table.
it would be more funny
Yeah.
if you did it right. So we just have like with all of us and Luke, and then Toad is sitting in the corner jerking off.
Yeah, just
Just watching.
Yo,
No mic.
just as an homage
we
to Tower
pay
Gang.
this dude to jerk off in the corner.
That's
if you
next
can't-
level
you
live
can't-
streaming.
But you can't come until you in, so you have to edge for like 2 hours, like 4 days a week.
And then we
I can
just
do
like
that.
sit there.
I can do that.
We sit there
So it's like,
awkwardly right at the
and I
end while
get
we're waiting
paid
to
for
wrap,
it this
just waiting for
I
him
could
to
do it for sure.
All right. No, but what do you have any details about that you're willing to talk publicly about the whole you and Luke, or is that all very development stage still?
No, I mean the details are that I went over to his house. We set up the five cameras, 5 mics. He's got his
Yeah.
computers set up, got a couple tablets and shit. So like it looks like it's pretty much ready to go. He asked me if I wanted to come over Sunday night. I told him I'm driving back from here, so I don't know if that's going to be feasible. So like I'm guessing that we'll start to do test runs next week, and then hopefully take it for real. But the plan is to have because our budget will be tighter than Timcast, obviously.
No way.
starting off. But our plan is to fly in one guest for the entire week. So like
they're there
Whoa.
for 5 episodes or
4.
something.
Whoa,
Okay.
it's a
That's actually
week-long
that's
thing.
a-
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's so much better than
It
the
It could
idea.
be really good. It could be really bad. Like
I
he
mean,
gets
if you're
like
doing the same thing
course.
every night,
It's
that
gotta
are
be
you
the
doing
right
like current
guest,
events like
man.
Timcast? type deal?
it'd be that, but with
Funnier, though.
Luke, yeah, it would be that. It'd be more funny probably, and also Luke has more of like a health bent to his lifestyle because he's lost a lot of weight recently.
cool, yeah.
So it'll be different. But he also wants to like kind of take over or implement the whatever lane where we have thoughts come in and do shit like that. So we're gonna get creative.
That's
with
gonna
it.
get so
That
much
would be good.
pussy.
If-
You're gonna
Yo,
get so
that's
much
a great
pussy.
show.
Oh my
That's
god,
awesome.
he's scripted. He was just like, yeah, I'm gonna have
Wait,
like,
that's
these women
why you're
come over.
bringing
It's
me
just
in?
it's content. You know, we're
That's
gonna
why
get
what?
heady.
That's why you're gonna have me on for
Yeah,
being
you're-
a thought.
Yeah, sure. You're the thought.
Okay.
Obviously.
I
So
like it.
We're,
And the
we're
more
gonna
I'm
do a lot
thinking-
of this.
Okay, because you like that's the common complaint people have with Timcast, but you're gonna have to, I guess, booking wise, be smart about making sure to not because I mean with them they're booking so many people,
Right.
every day, so you
But-
can kind of just pick whoever. But this year to be a little bit more selective because
Yeah.
it's got to be someone that's like because you're gonna really throughout the week be fleshing through different topics.
Oh, you're gonna get to know
you'll
these
no
people.
longer have the
Yeah.
complaint like where people complain that I went on there that we didn't talk about OKC for fucking a half hour.
There will be
Yeah.
episodes where like you don't shine, and then there'll be ones
Yeah.
where you get to like go for the full 2 hours. But yeah, so our plan is,
It might affect the kind of guests you can get though, because how many people can go for a week?
Yeah, that'll be hard.
of course, it'll be challenging.
Yeah.
But like our idea is to propose, because he has a guest room, so they get to stay for free. We fly them in, so they don't pay it. They get to have a 4-day vacation in Miami.
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah.
Fuck
so
yeah.
like you have to hit them up when it's like, and also there's lots of other shows, like maybe Patrick Bet David wants to have them on during the day. So like we can try and make
Yeah,
it.
like for me,
Dude,
I
you
could
fucking set up
literally bring my family down, and they could do stuff in Miami.
well,
I'm not-
I don't
I'm not
know.
saying-
I don't know if
I'm
I
not
can put
saying that as a pitch.
all of
I'm
your-
saying
Jose's
myself
like-
on.
Jose's like
I saw it in
right.
real time.
No,
oh
listen.
my god.
Listen,
Jesus Christ.
I literally was about to.
I benefit?
Listen,
I'll be like,
what I'm saying is,
Luke is not going to put your kids up.
Yeah.
No,
Jose's like,
no.
you
What I'm saying is,
have low budget, fly
I'm
my
saying
whole family
logistically speaking, for a guest,
Yes,
like
yes, yes.
these are like,
For a
if
guest,
you have
that
a
is me.
family or if you're a single guy,
I get
you
it.
are coming down to Miami. You're coming for a week. Like I know for a lot of people, be like, shit, I got to take a day off work.
If I'm
but
coming to Miami,
it
I'm
is
staying
a
in Clint's
vacation.
room, sleeping on
No,
the
I understand.
I have a guest
logistically.
bedroom, too.
That wasn't a pitch.
But there's also Destiny, Viva Fry. There's a bunch of like high profile YouTubers and stuff and commentators that live in Miami.
Yeah.
So like we can have, if someone is only able to come in for 2 days, we can cycle through some locals too. So that's the idea.
Please don't make me listen to Maj Reparation Touré for a week. Oh, that's you're gonna get a guy in. You're gonna be like, it's the first day, and you're gonna be like, oh.
The reparations tour is what he's going on.
Maj does not talk about reparations very much.
it's his main topic.
Guns? What? No. Reparations.
He's gonna be screaming on there.
It's about
I'm a man. I'm a grown ass man. All right. Let me tell you something.
So the
Maj
idea
is-
the idea is to do it Monday to Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. So it'll lead right into Timcast IRL. So that's the idea.
Nice, I like it. I dig it.
Maj's main stance is using the guns to acquire reparations.
If you guys get big, like real big, do you think you'd be like, I'm tired of doing this 6 o'clock shit. I'm doing the 8 o'clock shit, and just go right after
Just
him.
flex on Tim.
So you're
Yeah.
I hope not, man. I really.
Tim calls you, hey, excuse me, Clint. Yes, you know that you're competing directly with my show.
Yeah.
Like, what show,
Well,
nigga?
go during Tim.
Luke and I are both night owls. So I was telling Luke, like, because 6 p.m. Eastern is fucking 3 p.m. on the West
it's
Coast. So
early,
I was like, yo, why don't we just go 10?
10 is 10
10
is a cool
to 10 to
time.
midnight.
And you're in Miami.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, make the room dark with like Miami Vice,
10
like,
to midnight.
like
Be nice,
LEDs
be more of a
and
late
shit.
show vibe.
Yeah,
but
well,
Yeah,
then
it
we
should be
then we're
night, like neon
then we're
signs.
7
yeah.
to 9 West Coast. So we would be like the
Oh,
prime time.
man,
for
yeah.
West Coast.
Yeah.
And so you get to go late night vibe on like the East Coast. Oh,
That would be
God.
amazing.
It literally would be a late night
It's
show.
a post show. Now that you've seen that gay shit on Timcast, we're here doing some real stuff.
Dude, I like
Hell
that.
yeah.
I like that idea a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
so
did
we'll see
mention
what happens.
something you kind of like alluded. You were like, maybe it could be something where we would kick over to Tim's like stream. Like, if it was
Yeah.
ever a partnership, but kick over to, but I think going where he kicks over to your stream, he goes like, now there's a late night show if you want a little bit more, and he's like, maybe instead,
Well, he does
his post show.
yeah, his post show is like a half an hour, I think, right? Is it half an
Yeah.
hour?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe more sometimes.
Yeah,
Except
40
you
minutes.
got to balance it with Tower Gang, but yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so-
well, that was the other problem is then I'd have
Oh,
to be
yeah.
out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
So it's a 5-person show. You have you, Luke. You have the guest,
Me,
and then 2
my
other
kids. I have
co-hosts.
3 kids.
no,
Once
it's-
again, this isn't
My
a
wife,
pitch. I'm
my-
just curious.
my
Have you guys
mistress.
picked
I
out
bring my
names? Or are you doing
mistress.
we
stable
have
people?
we
or-
have a I don't know if her name's full, so I won't say it, but
Yeah.
Producer.
she's a producer, button pusher, and then me, Luke,
It's
and then
Lydia.
then either 1 or 2 guests. So like it would be dope if we could get like Viva Fry and Destiny to come.
Yeah.
Who's that super white chick that's always on Temple? That she was on that whatever one.
Oh, that's
Hannah
Hannah Claire Brimlow.
She's super sweet. She's
She's
cool.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
she's
thought it
really
was Mary, whatever the,
That's the culture
culture
crisis?
chick.
No.
I've never. She does a lot of this whatever show. So like I don't know if she's like
That's the
down
one-
in Florida or what.
That's the one I was. Yeah, the one that does the whatever show a lot because I see her on there.
I see
Oh,
her
you're
every
thinking of
time
the
I'm
other
at
chick.
Timcast.
That's not
and-
Hannah Claire. You're thinking of the other chick.
No, I know that's what
Oh,
they said her
okay,
name.
okay.
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah, Mary. But every time I see her at Timcast, she like doesn't give me the time of day. So I'm like, I don't know if
You're like, I'm probably not gonna fuck you, bitch. I don't care.
Not-
You're not my type.
No, not what I meant. I meant I don't know if she'd be willing to do the show, but she's probably friends with Luke. So we'll see.
All
So
right.
yeah, stay tuned. It's
Well,
gonna be fun.
All right. I guess we can let you just go now. At this point, you want to do your plugs?
No, I got.
Okay. all
Yeah,
right,
just
all
do
right.
one more
Well,
topic, then I'll.
Yeah.
I'll-
Well, hey, what anything good in the chat that we should bring up? Anything funny,
The
worthwhile?
only thing I saw, and I saw a long time ago, but someone asked, does the fire water come also from the drinking water? And as an engineer, yes, it does. I don't know why you would think there's a separate line. There are sometimes separate lines, but yes.
Fire water, that's something else.
Yeah,
I thought this was a dumb joke.
fire
Hawaiian
hydrants,
natives,
are
baby.
directly connected to what you get your drinking water from. It's the exact same. So it's required.
Okay. All right.
right.
I just saw that. I was like, what, you really don't think that like they just have extra lines running all the place just for the fire?
Confirmed. Cole is not a Fed. He actually knows a little bit about
yeah,
engineering.
like I do get autistic when it gets about engineering.
Toad,
Like, I actually-
Toad, on the other hand,
Me too.
still not sure.
Still doesn't know anything about computers. Very concerning.
It's wild. So he's controlling the mouse and I'm controlling the laptop, and he can do this.
This
And-
mouse blows.
It's not the mouse. I see him. He uses the mouse like my father. Like he's like searching around. Like he doesn't know where shit's at.
No,
I was like, dude, the X button. It's like I don't.
it's amazing.
Makes me
not,
nervous.
not true.
Well, all right, Toad, don't you have a new show? Did you actually put up an episode?
He
now,
did.
or-
Well, I put up a short this morning. I put up an
I-
actual episode like
Yes.
a couple days ago. It is my
Did anyone watch it? I mean, I
Probably
offered to
not.
watch it.
Oh my God.
I don't mean that to be
Dude,
condescending. It's
Jesus
not,
Christ, man, you are just coming out.
Listen,
it's my
I-
sports betting show. It's
No,
called
no.
Better Off Dead.
Yeah,
Did you watch it? When am I coming on your show? Like,
Listen. I talked to Toad. We talked in the group chat, and I said, "Hey, I will watch this if you want me to, just because we're friends, and like give me my feedback." But like, to be completely frank, this is not my type of content. I'm not
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
interested in gambling.
It's up to you, man.
So
if you
like,
want to do that.
that's why I offered. So I'm curious when you guys watch it. Your thoughts? Just
watch
trying to
it.
support a
I
buddy.
watched- I
That's
watched
it.
some of
Yeah.
it,
I
yeah.
mean, like, I'm not like if it was something I was interested in, I'd probably
No.
watch. But he decided to take up a thing I have zero interest.
What
in.
I'll say is, I
Well,
was
I've
outside.
taken it up a long
Yeah.
time ago.
What
It's
I'll say
just,
is, I was outside. I was on the trampoline, and he comes out and he's like, "I'm gonna record my show." I was like, "That's fucking awesome, dude."
You were on the
And-
trampoline.
yeah. I was jerking off while I was doing the show.
Wait, were you for real jumping in the trampoline?
Cole is so hot right now. No, yeah. He was
That's the
jumping.
least surprising thing I've
Like
heard all
it's
day.
allowed. I was
He
just
said
like,
it so casually, like, yeah, I was jumping on
He
the
was
trampoline.
jumping on the trampoline,
I do.
smile on his face.
Again, it's another one of those things where I just drop information that, like, I think is just completely normal, and then y'all are like, "What the fuck are you
so
doing?"
here I was on the trampoline, Gillette razor in my asshole.
And he was, and so I could hear him doing his show, and so he got it out, and he told me, he goes, "I'm gonna try to make it under 60 seconds," because we gave him some shit about
Let
it.
us be, yeah,
And he was like, "I
mind
can't do
it.
it." Well, he fucking did it, and I was listening the entire time. He got good information, got under 60. I was like, "Toad, that was actually really good."
We should
Like,
bring
I would
up,
actually-
we should bring up the short.
Yeah,
Is there
go
a way
ahead.
to- yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I
Top
don't know
if
if we
you're able
can.
to. I don't know.
I've been
how-
trying to
Go
bring
ahead.
up this video.
The
My-
show, the bet that I did that short on is a Major League Baseball
You got to do it from your
game tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, and it
This
was
sounds
actually
like a whole to do.
no.
Don't even. Yeah,
You
whatever.
can bring it right up on YouTube. There's the shorts thing,
Yo,
but
Whatever.
I think if we bring it up, it's going to be really bad for you because there's just no way we don't roast you. So
No,
like,
I
it's
swear
your
to
call.
God.
It's your call.
I swear to God, I heard him.
What
it
do I
was
look
it
up?
was yes, it was autistic and it was, but it was like you would be like understand what he's saying just on a baseball level.
Okay.
You'd be like, oh, okay, it makes kind of really good sense.
My wife has said, I spoke with my wife about your show, and we said it's missing the entertainment aspect. You need to have a female co-host that's going to be like a hot female, but
She says
doesn't.
nothing.
Yeah,
No,
I agree.
She doesn't
I
know
agree.
anything about this, but she's
OR.
inquisitive. She's asking
OR.
questions and never understands. Never understands why.
I don't know if it's even gonna come up.
And
It'd be
just
great if
episode-
she was a foreign
Oh, it
girl
just
too.
corrects.
So
My
why you
SEO
do this?
sucks.
Why you spend money and lose money lots of
In
times?
there you
Kazakhstan,
go.
we don't spend money this way.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, to share the screen.
Man,
Yeah, that's actually
I'm
a
already
better
upset.
idea.
I'm
A
already upset.
hot Ukrainian girl.
Yeah.
You could actually buy one.
Yeah, you
I
get one
know,
super
yeah.
cheap now.
Refugee,
dude,
your
you should-
war torn country.
You
I
should
don't.
buy. You should buy like dozens. That'd be
I
dope.
hate your president. Come on over here. Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Are you trying to bring it up right now?
You got my trans lenses going on in here. Hell yeah.
All right.
Yo,
So Los Angeles Angels aim
It's
high
a,
and
it's, a
New York Mets.
woke, it's a woke show. This is
Shh.
He does have
Toad's talking, shut
transitionary
up.
lenses. Incredible.
he's talking.
Major League Baseball today is the first 5-inning play. Los Angeles Angels, Anaheim, minus 125. The starting pitching matchup, I think, is a major mismatch with Silseth pitching for the Angels. He's never been seen before by the Mets hitters. And the Mets have Carlos Carrasco going, and he has been pathetic all year. Terrible whip. He's been getting knocked around and walking way too many. Silseth has had like bouts of wildness, but he's a much better strikeout pitcher. He's young. He's adapting. He's improving. Carrasco's kind of at the end of his career, and I just don't want really anything to do with the bullpens in this game because the Angels had to use the back end of their bullpen last night. So that's the play. First 5 innings. It's a bet on the starting pitching matchup. Anaheim Angels minus 125.
Is that it?
Guys,
For play?
No. Yeah.
Camerizer can suck my cock.
I actually thought it wasn't bad. I mean, maybe you could probably work better on presentation.
Yeah. What you need to do is,
I would say, find.
I'm ugly. What do you want?
No, I don't mean that. Find better, more appealing
Things you can help.
angles, or better lighting, or you can
yeah,
do
dude,
like
look at this property, and you showed my like I hate the color of this house. You showed the greenhouse. You got to show your outside with the trees. You got to
Fair enough.
when you
walk
edit
around
it,
like
take it on your phone, edit it. Every pause, smash, cut next into the next thing that you're
You could
saying.
have done it like while you were walking with a nice background
Yeah,
here.
you could do like
Fair enough.
hey, what's up? It's Charles.
Hey, what's up? It's Toad. Real
Toad.
excited.
Yeah, Toad, are you of the opinion that like this angle is your angle?
Maybe.
Okay, I had a feeling because
Yeah.
Honestly, Toad, this is all really good advice.
it's
I know
kinda
it might
just
seem
muscle
mean.
memory.
Yeah, I'm really not trying to be mean. I'm being.
It might
genuine.
seem mean,
No, I
but
get
there's
it.
something there.
But yeah, what I'm saying,
it's not
the
bad.
content itself.
No,
what
I get
he gave
it.
out there was as a baseball guy.
it was fine. Like
Yeah.
I'm now very anxious to see if he gets the pick right.
No,
Yeah, that's the thing.
my full length episodes I think are better where I'm doing it like in the in my actual
Like,
podcast.
way less eye contact in those episodes.
No, but I think he went over the guys like he was like, hey, I think I like these starting pitcher because like
Yeah.
his whip, and he was like, but I don't like this guy. He's new,
And it's
whatever.
so easy to do every day. You could do how many baseball games are there? Like 5
just how
a
many
day
were-
at
It's
least.
That's
Saturday.
all.
Way more.
Saturday there's
Yeah.
there's a full card, so it's like whatever 16.
Pick one,
Yeah.
and you have content every day.
There's
It's
a
fucking crazy.
dozen games a day.
Just nail the
only-
format.
Dude,
I'm
this
only
is how
doing-
you do because like I was thinking in my head like how are you going to get anywhere with this type, but because of the raw volume of how often you're doing it and how often people are referring to it,
Yes.
especially if you do end up I don't fucking know, maybe you aren't full of shit and you actually do make good picks and you aren't ruining your life. So maybe
Correct.
as you build up a track record to get, but I don't know. So because of your volume of content, I think it might not be bad. But I do think maybe work on presentation. If it really you can't
They
get
want Benzo to do
the
it- to do it
visual
with
to
him.
come together, you could
She just stick her tits out.
you
and she'd be
could
like,
figure out other ways.
Buy her
you
a
know.
podcasting. She's gonna sell all the microphones you send her and just buy
Dude, if
Benzos.
she
No, for real. Get Benzo. Just give her scripts. That's another one
she
too.
can't have her tits out because we'll get nuked.
no, you
but-
won't.
No,
Not.
dude, just have pasties on.
Tell her
No.
to do if you do
No, I
yoga.
think-
If she does yoga and it's naked yoga, you get away with it.
No,
Dude, this is a hack.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
my God.
Actually, if it's educational, you can get away with it.
Degenerate gamblers watching like girls naked doing yoga and listening to gambling advice. You struck a gold mine, dude.
This is like the ASMR shit. Like she's hitting on so many different things.
Yep.
Do it 100%.
I
Do
mean,
it.
for
You got
real
it.
though, I think you just even just her in a low cut shirt, just
Oh,
reading your
it's
stuff.
crazy
That's
how
it.
much
Yeah.
like just literally girls or streamers will literally just sit there
No,
low-cut
yeah,
strut
so-
and like say nothing and just watch
Well,
a video
I
and
hope
it
I
gets
don't
millions
have
of
to, I hope
views.
I don't have to change the name of the show, which is is a reference to my suicidal tendencies.
Yeah,
but
no, it's good.
No,
No, it could be
basically,
an open
basically,
thing.
it should just be her with you not on screen, just talking.
Oh, so it's
No.
just hard to say right there.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, it can
She's
be an
just like-
open thing. I mean, this could just be for like a daily picks thing. You
No,
could
it
still do your show where you do deeper analysis, but you could have her do like daily picks where she
It
just
should be
Yeah,
me.
daily
off
picks
a
and
short-
daily
a
tits.
short
It should be
little-
me like mansplaining to her. I
Yo,
think is the
it-
vibe.
rename the show "Picks and Tits."
It could be, it could be openly
and
known.
tits.
Picks
Oh.
and tits. You have it. Listen, you dress in your Hugh Hefner robe and you just do that,
Yeah.
and behind you
my
she's
smoking
silently.
jacket. Yeah.
I mean,
she's
how
silently
easy would
doing
it be
naked
for you?
yoga.
How easy would it be for you to send over a 30-minute or 30-second to a minute, picks, and she just has to read it and low cut, and and I mean it's an
No, I
openly,
think
it's
he-
an
no,
openly
he can
known
be-
thing. You're the one giving her the
No,
information.
no.
Like,
He
who
can be
cares?
in it. He can be in it. It's totally fine.
I'm going to be in it.
And then you do your weekly episodes where you do more deeper analysis as opposed to your daily picks.
Super funny if you do that. The
Picks,
Hugh Hefner
picks and
idea.
tits.
And
Picks and
her
tits is
behind
ready.
you, not saying anything, just doing. So you've got it there and never
Yeah.
mention it. Just never mention
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
at
that's
all.
pretty funny. Yeah, I like that.
And you get the degenerate gamble. Want to see tits
Either,
every day.
either that or I'm like
Bye,
I'm
Clint.
Clint's gone.
explaining. Either that or I'm
I gotta set up
mansplaining
Clint.
to her.
Yeah,
See you,
we can
Clint.
probably,
Peace out,
end
guys.
it. We can probably go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like 1:40.
yeah, I guess let's go. Did you just kill it just now? Oh, just
I don't think we
over.
can because this is
All right,
on
guys,
your-
we'll go around and do plugs real quick. Clint, we already know he's.
I guess we
what
can.
the fuck are you doing, Top?
He's got to help him set up there.
Watch Clint's
Okay.
show, Liberty Lockdown. He's on with Dave Smith in a few
Literally, like,
minutes, probably.
He's not going live, but
Oh shit, he's just
he's just
recording.
going to record it with them. Yeah,
The
it'll
episode
coming
will
out
be
soon.
up in the near future.
Yeah. And then TopLobsta, toplobsta.com, merchantengine.com. Like we all got like dope shit, like fucking all these No Way Jose. I got this new dingers.
Oh.
I think this may be on there, but
You can get the
The
Kenneth
top
trying to
off
do
the
didn't
hat.
kill himself. Sure, you can get
Yeah.
the
Kenneth-
Zeke, he didn't
Kenneth
kill himself,
Trinidad.
sure.
Oh, there should be a
Trinidad,
Toad didn't kill himself yet. Sure.
There you go. That's something. All right, yeah. This is this is streaming on multiple places right now, but this is technically a No Way Jose show. I'm on YouTube. I'm also on Rumble. Definitely go follow Rumble. It was live streaming there and YouTube. I'm not gonna be posting it at YouTube as much, but also you can find me in the audio podcatchers. Follow me on Twitter at Tower Gang Jose. Yeah. Patreon.com No Way Jose 2020. Cole, can you reach over there and hit end broadcast? Because our
Oh, I can do it. Yeah.
Oh, you got the mouse? Oh, okay. All right, guys, we're out.
All right. Oh, I hate
Oh,
that
God.
shit.
Now we're going to be really awkward. Oh, here we go.